And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the OSC King of the Hill, weekly number 172. It has been far too long, probably far too long, but we're back with something other than DreamHack Dallas. Of course, DreamHack is still right around the corner. It's starting up in a couple of hours, but here we have a bit of a pre-show, a bit of a preamble. We're here to get you ready and excited for a night full of StarCraft. Oh, let's go, Bobby, let's go. As we have our first series, we have our first best of one, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our red Terran player. Oh my, there we go. We have a red Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicaract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes as well. Usually, he's a pink Polish Protoss, but now we have a blue English Zerg. Representing the Platinum Heroes, it is Eba. Oh my god. Okay, a couple of things to go over here. Eba, of course, has been playing a lot of Protoss as of late, has been competing as Protoss as of late as well. But did I ask him today? I was like, Papi, what's going on? Are we still feeling the Protoss? And he's like, you know what? Like, I want to feel some pain. And I was like, I mean, feeling pain can be good sometimes, but it's okay. It's like, he's like, I'll play some Zerg today. I like the pain sometimes. Okay. So Eba has chosen to play Zerg here, at least to kick things off, and we'll see if Eba will switch back to Protoss throughout the course of this tournament, or if we only see the Zerg tonight. We'll see. We shall see. For now, it is going to be an interesting opener. We're going for not quite the standard hatch gas pool. We're instead going for a 15-15 into a bit of a delayed gas geyser instead. So Eba mixing things up a little bit here. Meanwhile, across the map, Nicaract going for a rack expand. Standard opener from our Terran player. A bit of a safer opener out of Eba. I would imagine maybe there's a bit of history. Maybe Eba is used to Nicaract maybe even opening up 2 racks Reaper. And that would constitute just a bit of a safer build here. It means that the Queens and the Lings are going to be a little bit faster here as we're droning up and taking a delayed gas. Bit of a delayed gas here from Eba. First Reaper's moving out. Now, before I get too ahead of myself, I know that maybe there are some people tuning in that maybe have not heard of this event before, but welcome everyone, welcome to OSC King of the Hill. This is a King of the Hill style format full of best of ones. What does that mean? What do you mean, King of the Hill? What? Basically, we have 2 players. We have Eba and Nicaract. The winner stays on. The winner of this game will stay on, and we will have a new challenger rising up to challenge them to take their place or to die trying. Ooh, as we get 1 drone kill. Oh my god, already quite a bit of damage dealt here. There were no Lings, unfortunately, for Eba, just the Queens to defend, and we do punish Eba for cutting those corners. 1 drone does go down. But basically, you stay on and you earn more money depending on how many players you bring down. These are all best of ones. We have 15 best of ones back to back to back to back. And we have seen some players go for some massive win streaks and take 10, maybe even all 15 games in a row. Or we could even see a tournament where you have like more of a back and forth, and we have, one player win, then the other, and then we just keep trading, and then we never really get a win streak going. It's happened. Until then, we have a Reaper dipping in once again towards that natural base. So far, only 1 drone kill. Ooh, we do go down. Bit of an overextension by Nicaract. Is going to be shut down in the end, but got a drone kill and even delayed the 3rd base. 3rd just now being taken, actually going for a faster. What the hell's going on? Okay, we are skipping Ling Speed. Ling Speed, I believe, yeah, we did skip Ling Speed, going straight into a lair instead, staying on 2 bases a little bit longer, now taking a delayed 3rd. And this could be a couple of different things. I would assume roaches. I would assume a roach warren momentarily. Otherwise, we could even be seeing a fast spire. We could just see 2 base meter instead. For now, we're trying to keep up. We do see Nicaract back at home, opening up BC. We're popping off just from both ends. So Eba preparing for, again, I imagine it's going to be 2 base meter. If this was Miyamika, I would assume like a Hydra Den and maybe even 2 base Hydra. But regardless, Eba is cooking. Meanwhile, so is Nicaract. As again, we have that Fusion Core finishing up. The starport is ready for the BCs. Battle cruisers are coming. Hellion's going to be dipping in, just poking and prodding at the front door. And oh my, Miyamika, is that you? Because that is indeed a Hydra Den, not a Spire. Okay, so we're rushing into Hydras instead. There's going to be a bit of a Hydra rush from Eba. Meanwhile, the Fusion Core, the BC's on the way. Now, what I was going to say here is that because we're rushing into BCs, if we did throw down a Spire, that wouldn't be the worst thing. To rush into Mutas, to shut down the BC, to counterattack, Hydras are going to be an interesting option. Now, Hydras will be spawning in a little bit faster, but yeah, I don't really know how much counterattack potential they're going to have. We're going for a second starport. 2-port BC into mech. Okay, we are making it up. 2-port BC with, I imagine, additional factories behind this. Nickrack is spicing things up early on here. First BC is about to spawn in. Still banking up more Hellions back at home, yet to reveal ourselves. And Eba hasn't really scouted too much. Hasn't seen much at all here as to what Nickrack is up to. But is thankfully making blind Hydras. So with all these Hydras, we will have anti-air. We will have the anti-air we need to defend, to survive. But here come the rest of the Hellions. You know what? Hellions, they do bonus damage to light units. These Hydras, they might even struggle against Blue Flame Hellions, but against regular Hellions, we shall see. Oh, things they flood in. We're going to be committing. BC teleporting on top of the army. Takes a lot of hits. Oh, the BC! It goes down. Nickrack teleporting on top of the army. That was not the play. The Hellions, they get annihilated. And now Eba can even counterattack. Back at home, we have nothing. We have no tanks. We have no follow-up BCs. We only have Hellions. But Eba does need to amass an army. It did cost us a lot of Link Hydras to actually survive that. Did a trading, and we lost 3 Hydras in the process, so still banking up. Nickrack trying to bust in, but again, we do have Hydras in position. Eba doing well for now. We're still making 2 BCs at a time. 3rd CC is on the way. Additional Hellions racing across the map. Oh, not quite committing. Yeah, at this point, Eba, he's secure here on his 3-base setup. We're mining through these mineral patches to expand, take a 4th base. There's no access to this 4th base from the other side, as we still have minerals and rocks up and running. And Eba's looking pretty secure. Eba is looking very secure right now. We do have a bit of a link counterattack, but we have Hellions at home to defend. And we do confirm the additional mech production. BC gonna reveal itself, continued BC production. I mean, Eba should be aware of that. And again, we're amassing so many Hydras, and this eventual Ling Bane Hydra push is gonna be brutal. I mean, I'm assuming Banelings is just because Banelings can do quite well against these Hellions if they connect, but for now it's just Ling Hydra. And we're pushing. Let's go. Eba moving out. Hellions gonna try and keep up. They're gonna try and slow this down, but again, these vanilla Hellions, what can they really do? Got a couple of volleys off. And they do cut some of these Hydras down, but we started step forward. We forced to teleport one of the BCs, and we are out of Hellions. We're out of support. GG gets called. There's nothing else left here, and Eba will take game number 1. Whew, GG. The hell did we just watch? Was that StarCraft? Was it? Aye, aye, aye. GG, well played. Congratulations, Eba will take the first game, will take down his first opponent. And with that, Eba claims his crown and is our current King of the Hill. GG, well played. Eba will be our current King of the Hill. And now the question is, who is going to rise up to challenge him? Now, I just I want to point this out. I just messaged Eba, because I'll be honest, that was a wild game. I just messaged him. I was like, the hell did I just watch? And he was like, I have absolutely no idea. He was like, I don't know what just happened. Jesus just took the wheel, Pop. He took the wheel, and you know, the eyes glazed over. We don't know what just happened, but GG, well played. Oh my god. Even he's letting us know. You know, when the opponent takes a fight so confidently that you believe he will win, that's how I felt when the teleport on the BC on top of the Hydras. Yeah. that was crazy. That was actually crazy. GG, well played. With that, we're getting ready for our next opponents. We're going to be heading over to the Land of the Americas. It looks like it's going to be another Terran opponent, actually. Another Terran opponent, but from a different region, from a different land. It's going to be Eba versus, you know, I mean, the South Korean Terran player living in the land of Japan. You know him. We all know him. We love him. It is going to be Iba versus Honmono. Let's go. Let's go. I'm just catching up. Whew. Okay. Just catching up with the chat bot. Shema. Hello, Chase. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Okay, sorry, we're just bantering in the chat. Have a good day's sleep. I did sleep all day, unironically. I went to bed at like what, midday? I'm pretty sure I went to like I think Cyril versus Shin finished around like 11 or around noon. Then I just passed the hell out. Just passed the hell out. And I'm ready to do it again. I'm ready for another day of DreamHack. How was Cyril able to complete yesterday? I thought he was conscripted. I'm pretty sure people are about to explain it in the chat, but for those that are maybe unaware, Cyril is currently conducting his military service, but for those that don't know, he has like special permissions. I think because he is considered an athlete. Those that represent the country of Finland in more ways than one internationally, they have certain permissions, or certain, not permissions, what's the word, exceptions, or they're granted exceptions to be able to travel from time to time and represent the country outside of like internationally and compete and stuff like that. So yes, Cyril, he does have certain permissions to be able to do that. He can't travel to every event. This is why Cyril, I believe he didn't compete in the EU. Was it the EU regionals that he didn't compete in? Or was it, we know that he didn't compete in Stars War 11. And there were certain events that Cyril has been missing, unfortunately. But he is at least competing in DreamHack Dallas. He has to pick and choose. He has like a limited amount of events that he can travel to, basically. Can't travel to all of them. Okay, we're diving in. We're diving into our next game. There's a better word than permissions, but yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah, as he said soon in the chat, he's his unit is sports unit of some sort. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Privileges. That's what I was. Look, I just woke up. Like, it's 10 p.m. and I just woke up. But you get me. You understand. As we're diving into our next game, into our next best of one, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Pink Terran, from living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Honmono. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our current King of the Hill. We have the Red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes of Racing a Zerg. Love to see it. It is Iba. Let us go. Iba, he did. Oh. Go. And once again, it is going to be another pool first variation here from Iba. Pool first into a hatchery, I imagine, very safe opener. Honmono is known for aggression, that is true, but I'm interested to see if Iba is going to be going for, once again, a fast lair. So, winding it back a little bit, this is a very similar to what we just saw in Game 1. In Game 1, delayed gas. Once again, this gas is quite late, actually, compared to a standard build. And with late gas, this could once again lead into skipping of link speed into a fast lair. just because your gases are so late anyway, you may as well just skip Link Speed. A lot of Zerg players from here would go into a fast Roach Warren and play Roaches, but we saw that Eba did want to play Hydras in the last game, and that could happen again. So Eba, he's having fun. He's not necessarily playing Orthodox, at least in Game 1 and what looks to be in Game 2. Things are moving out. Meanwhile, Homono back at home. For those that are curious, Homono, he is one of the most aggressive, or if not the most aggressive Terran player in all of South Korea. He's an animal, absolute animal, especially against Protoss players. He's very aggressive and hyper all-in against Protoss. Against Zerg, Homono is a lot more macro-oriented. He plays very bio-heavy. We've seen a lot of 2-on-1 variations from Homono, or even 3-racks variations into a longer, later game. And he has, honestly, really good control with bio. Just really nice bio control, splitting, spreading, of course, stutter stepping. Does have good unit control. And we'll see how we get into this, as the first Reaper does slip in across the map. Heads into the mineral line, gets a full scout. Link speed is going to be researched. And we have pulled out a gas as well. Okay. So you have my attention. Meanwhile, across the map, Lings, they do get in. Oh! We get a Marine. We get one. We get 2 Marines. And do we get any SCVs? We got one. One worker did fall. Again, it was a pull first opener. With that pull first, Lings, they got across the map. And we are getting some damage done, even forcing some delayed mining time. Very nice. Reaper's going to be deflected. And in the main base, we have a 3rd CC before Starport. Economic build here by Honmono. Getting into his 3rd CC. Again, Eba is researching Link Speed, so he's not rushing into a fast lair. Not this time. We're going for a 3rd. It's looking like a much more standard game. Also, I should bring it back again. Like, there's been so much going on. A boy loading into Death Aura. If you're a bit of an older school fan of StarCraft, you would recognize this map. This map was active not too long ago, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like the like 2020, like the first year of COVID, I think, or maybe beginning of 2021. Death Aura was in the ladder map pool, and here at OSC King of the Hill we have an extended map pool. What does that mean? Well, we have the standard ladder maps, we have the ladder maps, but we also have players voting on maps to add to the map pool as well. Older maps like Death Aura, or at times like Romanticide, and some of these others. Jagannatha is another one. I believe in this map pool we have, what do we have? We have Ancient Cistern, Death Aura, and Nightshade. A couple weeks ago we were able to custom games on Ancient Cistern. I did miss it, ironically, as we are making it up. Okay, that is a 2nd factory here for Honmono, rushing into Blue Flame, and we are going Mass Hellion. Oh boy, if Eba were to have gone into Mass Hydra early on, then Blue Flame Hellions would work their way through those Hydras, but alas, that is not going to be the case this time. As Eba is working on a solid queen count so far, is keeping up, amassing a couple of Lings behind this just in case Homono were to dive in. And there is that Roach Warren. Okay. So far, so good. I mean, the Overlord got in, the Overlord gets a full scout, we confirm the mech, so Roaches is a good response here to deal with the upcoming battle mech of Honmono, or at least the Mass Heli. Now, we did see the researching tech lab as well, so Blue Flame is definitely something that's on Eba's mind as to what could be coming his way. Otherwise, it could be, I don't know, Macula accelerators. What's it called? Hurricane engines. That's it. That's Helios. They damage the middle line. Drones are going to get roasted. Not too bad. 5 workers do go down. We do have to count. But the Lings are going to surround. And despite the Blue Flame, we do lock down a good amount of those Hellions. Oof. Not all of them, though. Okay, that's going to be 6 Hellions so far for 5 drones. A bit of a one-to-one trade. Not ideal for Honmono. He was hoping for something more efficient, for something a little bit better. But at least he does escape with those Hellions, and now we are transitioning into tanks. We have tanks on the way, not Cyclone, not yet. Just Hellion tank for the time being. A bit of a more traditional mech composition, and oh, my apologies. I assumed we would be committing into mech with the double factory, but no, we are hard switching here into bio. We have 1-1 upgrades with the double eBay. We have additional Raxes as well. Blue Flame into bio. This is a little bit more old school. Not unheard of, but yeah, you don't see this kind of tech switching and kind of build anymore. As Lings, they flood into the mineral line, but the tank shots are brutal. Do shut them down. Checking the vision of Eba, has he seen the okay, he hasn't seen the eBays. Has not seen the eBays, have not seen the additional Raxes, not yet, but the Overlord is about to dive back in, and we should get confirmation. So Eba's in the dark. We're throwing down an infestation pit, settling into 3 bases. 4th base is on the way, focusing on roach production, which is so far so good. And the Overseer will confirm all the Raxes and the bio transition. Okay, the tech switch has been scattered. Eba knows. Immediately, Bailey Nest. Oh, we cancel the infestation pit. We throw down the Bailey Nest. Again, the infestation pit, I believe, was supposed to be for infestors to fungal growth and lock down the army. But now we have the Bailey Nest on the way. Again, Roach Ravager versus Bio struggles. It can work, especially in the mid game, but ideally you do want to go into at least Ling Bane Roach Ravager instead. Scan will reveal the Hydrogen at least. So Homeowner a little bit more aware to commit a little bit harder into tank production. And there it is. We have 2 tech labs on those 2 factories for those eventual tanks. Ooh, and we're settling in. We are going to be calming things down at least a little bit more here. Again, some of the features of Death Aura is the speed zones. So we have speed zones here in the center of the map. Speed zones which I believe aren't really a thing anymore in the current map pool. I had to think for a moment, but yeah, there are no speed or slow zones in the new map pool, if I remember correctly. But I'm sure they'll make a return. Also, I have to get rid of this. I do apologize. This event is not sponsored by Monster Energy or by the US Air Force. I'll have to remove the logos mod. This is what we were casting last night for a DreamHack for ESL Masters. So I will quickly remove those logos. After the game, Hellions going in for a counterattack. Oh, roasting up some Lings. They do have to respect the roaches. I'm not going to be pulling back. He's just going to pull back home. Follow-up scout here, just confirming here that, okay, it is still bio. There's no hidden tech of like a Ghost Academy, for example. We do have confirmation as well that there's no Widow Mines, that we have those tech labs on those factories. So a nice follow-up scout there by Eba. As we are switching into Lingbane Hydra. We're getting there. More importantly, with the eventual Hive tech, with the Hive coming, we will be able to get into Vipers. And with Vipers, we can break these siege lines, we can break these contains, and shut down those tanks. Ooh, before that does occur, with no transfuse! And not offensive with transfuse, 2 queens go down. Ling's gonna try and chase this down at the same time. Here comes the main army on the right-hand side. And we shut down the roaches, and how many tanks do we have? 7. 7 tanks moving out for Honmono. Making our way towards the right-hand bases. This hatchery looking quite exposed. And Eba is racing back home, but does he have enough? We have a handful of banelings. We need more Lings, 28 Lings in production. The tanks are sieged. And Honmono makes his way towards that base, towards the hatchery. Yeah, this position is brutal, and the drones are going down. We annihilate the mineral line. Eba down to 77 workers. The hatchery will fall. And Eba's just waiting for Honmono to push even further as he goes for a counterattack. A massive Ling counterattack. The base is about to be taken. Honmono trying to get in position. Does have the 1 tank in the back line, but the Lings, they get us around. They get us around on the Marines, on the reinforcements. The tank will fall as well. At the same time, Honmono pushes onto creep. He's unsieged. But it looks like there's just not enough Ling Bane. Yeah, not enough for Eba. Honmono is snowballing out of control. He breaks through the defensive line. These Lings, they did do well across the map, but this main army is becoming too much to handle. Vipers are out, but it's too little too late. As Eba just doesn't have enough on the ground. Honmono steaming on forward, focuses down the hatchery. The Biles will be dodged. Cross-map Lings are finally being cleaned up. Honmono did lose a lot of SCVs down to 58, but this main army, that's what matters most right now. Once again, denying the hatchery. Oof, it's a kill, not a cancel. Ravager's going to be going down. Massive tank volleys here on the Hydras. And again, without Ling Bane, we cannot engage. Not with this army. I say Ling Bane, mainly Lings. Lings to close that distance. Eba being forced back. I mean, he's up in workers, but he needs time is the problem. He needs time to rebuild, and Honmono is not slowing down. Sure, waiting for a wave of reinforcements. There we go, double jump towards left-hand side. Tanks encroaching upon the natural. Going for the scan. Oh, and we don't get the blinding clouds. We come in, up. We come in, we do catch a couple of tanks. Just barely. And we will clean this up. Whew. Oh my god. Eva. At the same time, double jump left hand side. We catch some queens. And can we get some workers? Yeah, the drones are under fire. The advantage that Eva once had, not there anymore. As we are down to 55 drones. The drop picks up, gets the hell out of there, making its way into the main. Again, that was a solid cleanup here on these tanks with those blinding clouds. But Homeowner, he's still ahead. He still has that momentum. Busting into the main base, focusing on as many Hydras as he can. Get an efficient trade here for Honmono. Is forced out. Queens are in position. Oh, nice positioning here. Oh, oh my god. Where are we going? Nice positioning there from Eva. The drop does come in. Oof. And Homeowner, his macro doesn't stop. Homeowner, he's turned into hot macro here as we're moving out across the map, making our way towards that natural. Once again with tanks, with Marines, now with Marauders as well. And he's breaking this position. And a bio army going up against pure Hydra. Not something you want to be seeing. We have some lurkers on the way. They're coming. But they're not going to come in time. Yeah, GG gets called. Honmono just has too much. And Honmono will take down Eba and become our new king of the hill. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I need to get rid of the logos mod. I need un momento, papi, un momento. But GG, well played. Honmono will take down Eba here. Again, a very unique style, opening up Blue Flame Hellion into Bio. Again, Eba was trying to switch into that, and it was a risky moment for Eba to go for that big link counterattack. Did do a good amount of damage, but unfortunately was not able to deal with the main push. Just the amount of tanks there, the amount of support that army had was just too much to handle. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Congratulations to Honmono. My condolences to Eba. My condolences to Eba here, as now he can go back to laddering as Protoss. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Oh, good, as we're getting ready for our next challenger. Catching up. Catching up. DreamHack is the exact wrong time of the day for us here. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. DreamHack, it started at 1 a.m. yesterday. 1 a.m. start, I think. And it ended like at around midday. Oh. Did end at around midday. But it looks like we have our next challenger. Okay. It looks like we have our next challenger. Okay, so it's not going to be a TVZ. It is going to be a TVP, as we have our next contender. Rising from the ashes of Eba, we have a Hydra taking the stand. Hydra, of course, the Protoss player from the land of the Netherlands, is going to be jumping in. And oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. Now, I mentioned before as we were introducing Homeowner how he's an animal. If you maybe haven't watched him before, he's a very aggressive player, specifically in the TVP matchup. Against Zerg, as you saw, he can be unorthodox, but a little bit more macro-oriented. Against Protoss players, he very rarely takes a third. It's mainly 2 base all-ins. We've seen 2 base all-in after 2 base all-in after 2 base all-in from Homeowner, and even if you know it's coming, it's hard to stop. We've seen Homeowner bring down players of the caliber of Geralt and Cristiano, you know, some top-tier Protoss players in Europe, and it's just it's Homeowner. It's yeah, you could know what's coming your way, you could know that he's all-inning, and it could still be very difficult to stop. So we'll see if we can dive into this. have our map of choice. And we are getting into our next game. Getting Honmono, now adjusting his crown. Newly crowned, I should say. And Hydra here to knock him down. We'll see if he can. As again, our next game will be on Oceanborn. One of the more modern maps, not quite as ancient or historic as Death Aura. Of course, for those curious about the format here, it is challenger pick. So whoever is rising up, in this case Hydra, it is his map of choice. The veto process is limited. Basically, the current king of the hill, gets one veto. One veto, only one. And then the challenger can pick whatever they want. And here we go. This is part of the ESL Pro Tour? So could I get rid of it? Stuff in the UI? Oh, my apologies. Sorry, I thought I fixed that. No, yeah, so fun fact, I added the logo top right, but I didn't quite update the in-game stuff. Hold on. My apologies. Thank you for pointing it out. Thank you so much. One moment here. There we go. Sorry, have just fixed the UI. My apologies, but everything should be as it should. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our current king of the hill. We have our red Terran player, the South Korean Terran, living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Honmono. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the Blue Protoss from the land of the Netherlands, representing himself, I believe currently teamless. It is Hydra. Okay, Hydra, of course, had a little bit of time to prepare. Was more aware of who his opponent would be coming in. Just, I mean, I'm sure preparing for either Honmono or Iba. And we'll see what his plan is going to be to bring Honmono down. I'm sure Hydra is a little bit more aware of who Honmono is. If this was like a year ago, a lot of these European players they didn't really compete and play too often against Honmono, so he was more of an enigma. But nowadays, they're familiar. they know who he is. They know what he's about. They found out the hard way. As Hydra tries to hide that probe, Honmono will find it. We'll shut it down. We do get the CC on location. Again, just a Rax Expand economic opener out of Honmono. Just because the opener is economic doesn't mean we're going to be entering a more macro game. And it's Honmono we're talking about. I'm waiting to see what kind of setup we have. Very commonly, Honmono will go for a Rax into factory, into 2 more Raxes, into a delayed starport, into pulling the boys. Seen that quite often. There are other variations as well. We'll keep an eye on Honmono. As for now, he's checking for proxies. Does check the linear 3rd base, even the linear 4th base, before coming back over. Again, just making sure he doesn't get bamboozled and caught with his pants down. See in the chat. It is not brought to you by the US Air Force, but it could be brought to you by the US Air Force. If they just get in contact, true. But now, ooh, we do manage to catch an SCV. Not a bad start here. Bunker does not completely bust into the main. Hydra does slip into the main base, and what can we get done? 2 SCVs go down. Do catch 2 workers, and we delay the CC. That is all we were looking for, just a delay on the command center. Very nicely done here by Hydra. We're not done. Here comes another adept. And can we delay the command center even further? Oh, not quite. Bunker does finish up in time. Hydra will have to respect it. We'll have to back off. And as he backs off, we have our tech of choice. It'll be a Blink-based opener from Hydra. Twilight Council into Blink. We have our Robo on the way, getting into our 2-gate setup. Everything looking as it should. Did I say 2-gate setup? My apologies. It's going to be a 3-gate setup. Okay. I was about to say 3-gate blink, my apologies, 4-gate blink. Hydra turning up the aggression here. Okay, so much more aggressive build from Hydra, rushing into 4-gate blink Stalkers. With this, we can apply a lot of pressure, get in the face of Honmono, and punish his build. Now we'll see how Honmono responds. We spoke earlier about how Honmono very commonly does skip and delay his starport and go into 3 Raxes. That's what we have here. We have a 3-Rax setup into a delayed starport. This looks like the setup for a 2-base all-in. This looks like classic Honmono. Tank production has already begun early on. But I kind of like Hydra's position here. As Honmono is getting ready for his push, Hydra will have map control and can chip away at the army. Ideally, Hydra wants to catch some Marines, wants to force the siege of the tank, maybe even pick off the tank itself, slip into the main base. There are options available for Hydra. When it comes to Honmono, he's covering his bases. We have a turret thrown down just in case there was a DT opener, for example. We have a bunker on the low ground, we have the first tank on the way, but the main base is bare bones. If Honmono was aware of the build, then I'm sure we would see a bunker in the main as well, but Honmono's in the dark and is vulnerable. At least in the main base. The natural is pretty secure. I mean, the wall is solid. And here we go. We have the 4-gate blink coming in. We can reinforce 4 Stalkers at a time. Hydra will check. Does shade in, and he's going for the tank. Oh, going for the bunker. Bunker does go down. Repair, not in time. The bunker will fall. We back off. We can rotate into the main base. Second tank has arrived. Is going to be sieging in the main. Honmono preparing here for the blink. Rebuilding that bunker. So far, Honmono is holding. But Hydra getting ready to pounce in. Oh! It does go for the dive. Focusing down one of the Marauders. Oh! Ooh, doesn't quite get the bunker. Not the best trade there from Hydra. Across the map, he's expanding. He's not all in. Taking a third. Now, what is scary is that Hydra hasn't done enough with this. If we look at the unit slots tab, Hydra got a tank and got a Marauder. Like, sorry, let's say a tank. Got a bunker and got a Marauder. That's all he's gotten, which is not enough here, considering that Honmono has been building up and banking up and will eventually break out with Stim and with a tank count. With 3 tanks with his army, maybe even 4. Scans confirms a 3rd base. Stalkers dive into the main. We do snipe the Cyclone. Ooh. Prism is forced back. Here comes that push. Again, we have 3 tanks with the main army. Stim is finishing up in a couple of seconds. We have combat shields, we have +1 attack, and we're pushing. And here come the boys! We spoke about it. This was a setup for a 2-base all-in, and Honmono is sending everything he has across the map. Hydra wasn't able to get enough done with his 4-gate blink, is going to be harassing the main base. We'll get some damage done here at least. But what about the main push? What do we have to defend as we force the recall? Ooh, Prism does escape. And what do we have? No splash damage, no Colossus, no Immortals, no shield batteries. Uh-oh. There's a kill on the shield battery. Base is going to be going down. Hydra does have a decent Stalker count. Oh, diving on top of the tanks. First tank goes down. Out with the fire with snowballing out of control. We stim on in. We focus down so many of those Stalkers. And we're running out of gateway units here. The Zealots, they get cleaned up. 12 SCVs went down, but we don't care because we're all in. We're going for the kill. And we do manage to catch 1 more tank. Oh, we do not. We don't catch the tank. Does survive. Base goes down, and now we're going for the natural. GG gets called. Honmono will take the game and remain the king of the hill. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Honmono with a very aggressive build their very aggressive style. Hydra had potential, but if you remember with his 4-gate blink Stalkers, he didn't get enough done. He killed a bunker and he killed a Marauder. I do think that with his first push, there was the opportunity to dive into the main, and there was a lot of damage potential in the main base. This was before the 2nd tank had arrived. Instead, we chose to go for the natural, and the natural was heavily fortified. Right, with SimCity, with bunkers, with tanks, with the bio army. The main was exactly where Honmono was ready. Elsewhere, maybe would have been a different story. GG. GG, well played. Honmono does take the game And now it's going to be on our next challenger to fight back. Homeowner, he has started a win streak, and we have our next challenger. Let's go. It is going to be another Terran versus Protoss. Oh, guys, yeah, I need to get ready. Oh, God. Oh. I do need to get ready here, as it is going to be Homeowner versus Night Phoenix. Here we go. Again, Night Phoenix, a Protoss player from land of Ukraine. Night Phoenix, I would say, is a bit of a level up from Hydra, so this is going to get harder and harder here for our king as his reign does continue. The challengers, they don't get easier, and we'll see if we can usurp our current king of the hill. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Ukrainian Protoss player, the yellow Protoss representing Astronaut Esports. It is Night Phoenix. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the we have the red Terran player from land of South Korea, our current king of the hill with 2 wins under his belt. The win streak has begun. Will it continue? It is Hon Mono. Let's go. Here we go. As again, Night Phoenix has been on the rise for quite some time, is one of the younger players out there in land of Europe, who's been competing, who's been improving over the past couple of years, ever since the COVID era of StarCraft. Has been leveling up. Has been a little bit less active as of late, I will say that. I know Night Phoenix has been dabbling in other games whenever they've been available. Games like Stormgate, for example, or games like, what's the other one? Zero Space. Has now made his return. To have a Twilight Council, sorry, to have our Cybercore follow-up here. Just a gate into Cyber into our expand from Night Phoenix. And the question becomes, what is Night Phoenix going to do? I mean, we all know the Homeowner is going to 2-base all in, okay? That's a given. that's obviously it's going to happen. But what about our Ukrainian Protoss player? And a big shout out to for Jimmy. Oh my god, papi. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. You streamed quite early today. Like, are you okay? Have you slept? What time is it in Germany right now? Hold on. I need to find out. Germany time. 3 p.m. Okay. Not too early. Fair enough. That would have been an early stream. Like, my god. But yeah, hope you've been having a great time. Hope you've been having a great day. We might even see for Jumi in this tournament, potentially. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if he's going to be competing in OSC King of the Hill, but regardless, hope you all had a great time. And welcome everyone to OSC King of the Hill. This is a King of the Hill style format. King of the Hill tournament, where it's purely best of ones. Best of ones. Homeowner is our current King of the Hill. He's got 2 wins under his belt, and Night Phoenix is our challenger, is our would-be usurper. Can he take it, as we are going for a robo opener back at home? Okay, interesting. Again, we've seen robo openers be a little bit more popular as of late. With this, we can go and rush into a fast Bane, into fast Colossus. We can go for earlier Immortal production, just a safer opener in general, or even go for an earlier Warp Prison to be aggressive with gateway units. We'll see how Night Phoenix play this out. And there it is. There's the fast Bane. And this should be to rush into Colossus. I say should because we have seen a couple of Protoss players be fancy and go into Disruptors and like Disruptor drops with mixed success. Very mixed success when it comes to taking in that direction. So I imagine this is going to be fast Colossus. And I kind of like that against Homeowner. Again, Homeowner known for his aggression and known for his all-ins. But these robo openers are designed to keep you a little bit safer here and to rush into this higher form of tech. We'll see as Homeowner is moving out. Back at home, there's our second Rax on the way. I imagine a third Rax thereafter. To build up that bio army. Adepts move out. And they shave off a couple of Marines, but 2 Marines for 1 Adept. Not an ideal trade. Phoenix backs the hell off. He backs the hell off. We have that Colossus in production. Let's go. You too. Take care, Pappy. Take care. And there it is. This is that third rack that we spoke about. So far, this is the same build that we just saw against Hydra, where we're just building up on 2 bases, building up a tank count. Once we have around 3 tanks, Homeowner should be pushing out and pulling the boys. Would not be surprised if the boys are pulled with this. And can Night Phoenix survive the aggression of Honmono? Twilight Council on the way. Oh, we're taking up quite a bit here. Going for the third, going for the Twilight Council, throwing down additional gateways. Will we have a second Colossus in time? That's what I'm curious about. As Night Phoenix does check the natural, confirms the tank. Stim just now starting up. Night Phoenix settling in, going for a gateway explosion, building up towards 3 extra gateways, 6 in total. 6 gates on 3 bases. The downside here with what Night Phoenix has is that we're not quite in position to slow down the push. Once Honmono moves out, Night Phoenix isn't quite ready to slow it down and make use of this ramp, for example, force field it by time. Scan does reveal the army, and does get eyes on the Colossus. Second Colossus is halfway done, and Homeowner has to make a choice. Do we commit? We don't. We expand. Okay. Third TC is in production. We scan. We confirm that there is a Colossus-based army, and Homeowner doesn't like his chances. He does the unthinkable. He expands. He's crazy. He's taking a third base. So Homeowner going for a longer game. We have the armory on the way. We have the starport on the way to get into medevac production. To potentially get into drop play. Or we could even rush into faster Vikings. As there's the add-on swap. The reactor ready for that starport. Phoenix won't quite commit. We are just calming things down here, taking a more macro approach. Again, hot macro, not often seen here in TVP. So I'm curious. I'm very curious here as to how Homeowner will approach this. We have our 4th Nexus on the way. Scan confirms additional Colossus production. Still going for the medevacs first, just to be active. 3rd base on the way. 4 CC has been thrown down. We have that Ghost Academy, and yeah, Homeowner, he's just macroing up. He's just building up. So is Night Phoenix. So, as opposed to the previous game, which was very high octane and very aggressive, we're going to be taking a slower approach here. Getting up to 3 base saturation. And just looking to build up our forces. No rush 10, if you will. To have a double jump towards the left-hand side, headed towards the fresh 4th, is spotted by the Observer. Night Phoenix getting in position. Blink is not quite done, so catching the medevacs is going to be difficult. As Homeowner is spotted. Ooh, that is going to be a kill on the pylon. Auto cancel. Night Phoenix diving in. And the drop is going to be forced back for now. Homeowner doesn't bleed out too much, thankfully. Only a handful of Marines will escape. Ghost production well underway. And how many ghosts do we have so far? This is going to be our first 2. Because we're rushing into these ghosts, I'm curious if we're just going to make our first wave of ghosts and then move out. As I say that, we already have a 3rd orbital on the way. I'm not so sure. As the ghosts have arrived. Getting to Viking production, sensor towers. Preparing for any kind of move out. Likewise, Night Phoenix knocking down these rocks, gaining map control. And based on what Homeowner is up to, we could be a little bit greedier tech-wise as well. Sure, we have Archons, we could work towards Storm, work towards second Robo, extra gases and Disruptor production. Scan does reel the gases here at the fourth. Here we go, Knife Phoenix still gonna poke in, but we don't want to push into this, not into these tanks. Knife Phoenix pulling back, bleeding out a good amount of Zealots, thankfully only Zealots. Not too confident in our ability to break this. Not with this kind of army. And Knife Phoenix will back up. Whew, okay. I was like, we don't want to push in. Not like this. Knife Phoenix rotating around. Again, tank shots go up. Do have a prism coming in from behind, so we do see Knife Phoenix trying to pull apart the attention of Homono, but we do react in time. Yeah, the job comes in. Knife Phoenix, nice force field to the friendly fire. Oh my god. Very nice trade there for Knife Phoenix. And these Zealots, even shutting down some of these Marauders, they break through the Marines. Getting to that mineral line. Oh, just barely not. If we had more Zealots, I think we could keep on pushing, but alas, the War Prism was used to harass. It's not here to reinforce. It is being rebuilt. There's a second Robo, and now we should be working towards, I would imagine, Disruptors. There are some players that enjoy going into, or that prefer going into Immortal instead. Colossus into Immortal, but that's a bit of an older play style. It isn't too trendy, and yeah, Disruptors are on the way. Disruptors are on the horizon. Phoenix being forced back. Homono stabilizing on 3 bases. Should soon be taking a 4th. Has yet to expand, but has plenty of bases. There we go. Will take his 4th base. There's that Disruptor production that we spoke about. I was going to say that earlier, when we were taking our 3rd bases, if Homono was playing too defensively, then Knife Phoenix would take advantage of that and rush into Sky Toss. But instead, Knife Phoenix tried to push in. And it's just now taking up into... There it is. Speaking of Sky Toss, we have the Stargates. So by running into the main army. Prism into the main. So far, Homono's keeping up, but his 4th base is going to be denied. Can we get the kill? Oh, we can! That's a kill in the CC. A very worthwhile trade. I mean, Knife Phoenix did bleed out a lot of Zealots and a lot of Stalkers. But did kill the base. Containing Homono. I still stand by saying that I do feel like these Stargates could have been faster. They could have definitely been faster here for Knife Phoenix. But again, I don't think he was aware just how defensive Homono was going to be. Now that defense is turning into an offense as Homono is moving out. At least he's trying to. As he moves out, Zellarambai drags him back home. Knife Phoenix buying time. Waiting outside of the ramp. And now we catch the tanks. And Homono left them exposed. Left them in the back line. 2 tanks go down. Not quite the 3rd. Oh! Ooh. Just barely not. Zellarambai running into the main army. Less than ideal here for Knife Phoenix. He's going to bleed out so many Zealots. That was 44! Jesus! 44 Zealots going down. Ay, ay, ay. Never goes off. Catches a good chunk of Marauders and a Ghost. He's trying to hold on. Mothership's on the way. +1 air attack as well. No fleet beacon. Oh, no. We got fleet beacon. No carriers yet. Homono is sharking around. Has maxed out. Still in a low worker count, but is now expanding. Making his way between the bases. Once again, Zealots running into the army. How many Zealots have gone down this game? 90, almost 100 Zealots. Ay, ay, ay. Solid EMP on the Archons. Nova's going to be going off. Ooh, and Homono takes the Novas to the face. Massive connections. Yeah, pushing into Disruptors is not an easy thing to do. As we have our Disruptors ready. Tank will not be saved. And Knife Phoenix has momentum. Remember, Homeowner is on a low worker count, just now taking a 4th base. He doesn't have the best bank or economy to maintain these losses. Homeowner was maxed out essentially, but upon losing his army, needs time. Needs a lot of time to rebuild. Night Phoenix already maxing out. Working on a 4th Colossus. Mothership is out. The Mothership can allow us to recall, can head towards the natural. Night Phoenix threatening a dive. Let's threaten the dive. We're on how many disruptors? 5. 5 disruptors with the main army. Oh. Still not finding a way in, but really, this is just a distraction. We're just distracting Homeowner. Here comes that Mothership. And we're waiting for that recall. This Homeowner is kept busy. Nervous going off, catching some of the Widow Mines. Oh. Homeowner trying to keep up with the movement here of Night Phoenix. Mothership is spotted. The ghosts are coming in for some EMPs. Oh! Solid EMPs, and the recall. Will it finish? It will not. Just barely not. But it did drag Homeowner over to his main base, and that exposes the planetary. Oh, the Novas! Yeah, Homeowner forced to push in. Does take some Novas to the face. But Night Phoenix does not get the army. He does not get the base or the army. Oh! I spoke too soon. Massive connections. Vikings are going ham. But what about the ground army? Here comes Zelts from behind, and finally the flank. It comes in. Homeowner is cleaned up. Only a single Viking makes it out. Barely, I mean, a good amount of goes, but barely anything else. As Night Phoenix continues to push in. Giving up on the 4th base, but going for the 3rd. Oh, the splits are just not there. And Night Phoenix, he has done it. Our king has been having a decent reign here with 2 wins under his belt, but Night Phoenix is coming in and is looking to strip that crown away from him. I say that, but am I speaking too soon? Up. Disruptors went down. We sniped the Colossus. But that was 28 SCVs going down. The economy here is crippled. We're down to 38 workers. Night Phoenix getting a 6th base. It's crazy. Now, Night Phoenix did bleed out all of his robo units, the Disruptors, the Colossus. It takes a while to rebuild that, but they're on the way. And that's a lot of Dark Templar. The Invisible Man, they are coming out. They are moving out here. And do we have any detection? We do have a lot of scans. We have a turret here at the 4th. But DTs are coming in, Motherships being rebuilt, Tempest as well. And Night Phoenix has control of this game. As DTs, they hit the planetary, takes a couple of swipes, it goes down, even with the detection, doesn't even matter. As they won't quite be able to escape, they won't get away, a handful will. That's a planetary going down, 11 SCVs. Main army forced back. Forcing out the scan. And Homeowner bleeds out far too much. GG gets called, and Night Phoenix will take the game, will dethrone Homeowner. GG. All hail the new king as Night Phoenix takes down Homeowner. GG, well played, very well done here. Again, a very different dynamic because Night Phoenix did open up Robo. Homeowner wasn't able to get into his all-in. Homeowner, he was building up towards an all-in, scanned, he saw the Colossus, he saw the 3rd base, recognized that he could not break that, chose to expand, chose to take a 3rd instead, and was a little more defendable as well, wasn't too greedy, just built up on 3 bases, did max out, but we saw that didn't really have the economy to maintain those losses and to sustain himself. You know, a couple of bad fights, and Homeowner just struggled to keep up. GG. GG, well played, and congratulations to Night Phoenix, will be our new king of the hill, and the question becomes, who's up next? Our players are talking. Homeowner's like, Homeowner's angry. He lost the crown. And Night Phoenix is like, Night Phoenix is also angry. I won KFC. Aye. Oh, I haven't had KFC in a long time. Long time. Oh, okay. As we are going to be heading over to the European region, we have our next contender. We have our next challenger. It is going to be potentially another PBT. I say potentially, this is a player that has been playing some random, but as of the past couple of weeks, has stopped playing random, has been playing his main race instead. Pretty obvious who I'm talking about. It is going to be Night Phoenix versus Uwutherm. Let's go. Here we go. So Uwuthermal versus Night Phoenix. Again, Uwuthermal was competing as random at the start of the year for quite some time, actually, for quite an amount of time, but did eventually stop. I want to say a month ago, around a month ago, Uwuthermal, he started competing as Terran in WTL and committing to Terran, also playing as Terran in ESL Open Cups and all these other online events. And I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I know that a lot of people were at times a little bit like frustrated because we'd see Uwuthermal and he'd roll like Protoss or Zerg, and it's like, you could do so much better with your Terran. And he did, by the way. Like, Uwuthermal taking maps off of Oliveira in WTL, in TBT. Like, Uwuthermal is looking like a beast in the TBT matchup. It is by far his best matchup. What about against Protoss? That's the question. What about against Protoss? As I believe that Uwuthermal, against a Terran player, he can take down almost anyone. Almost anyone out there, he can take down Terran players of the caliber of Oliveira, of the caliber of, I imagine, players like Bjorn. But Protoss and Zerg, we'll see. Let us see. I accidentally invited the wrong person. Shaking my head. Beautiful. Alright. We're getting our lobby ready. We have our map of choice. And it is going to be Oceanborn. Oceanborn will be our map of choice here. Then we're playing Terran random or race picking. You know what? I'll ask. Here we go, and we have our answer. Again, as of the past couple of weeks and the past month, I have confirmation it is going to be Terran. It is going to be Uwuthermal picking Terran here. Here we go. Diving in. Yeah, Uwuthermal, he's letting us know that he hasn't played Protoss or Zerg for a while. Like, I haven't been playing PNZs. Ah, okay. All good, all good. Homeowner, watch stream. Ah, hello, Homeowner, hello. Enjoy the stream. Enjoy. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have we have our Ukrainian Protoss player, the current king of the hill, with one win under his belt. Representing Astronaut Esports, it is Night Phoenix. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, not promising not to proxy. Aye. Oh, or, yeah, not, yeah. We have from Land of the Netherlands, it is Uwu Thermal. AKA the Protoss fan, Bobby. Let's go. As interesting, we're going to be faking a proxy with the racks at the third base location. So this is something that's done, I wouldn't say quite commonly, but yeah, relatively commonly, where a Terran player would hide their first racks at their natural, maybe further back in their main, or at their third base location. Either third base location. Just designed to force an overreaction. Basically, this probe scout is coming in, and because it is not uncommon to do this, Night Phoenix will have to scout. You'll have to check further back in the main base. He'll have to check these fringe base locations to make sure that whether or not it is a real or fake proxy. As yeah, we're checking that main intentionally, so try to get a read on what is going on. Likewise, I will work on the player names, just so people know what's going on. Bam, there we go. There's your thermal. And one moment, there is bam, Night Phoenix. Okay. We have our player set up. Night Phoenix checking back in, does confirm that there is a factory back at home, so not a committed proxy. Ooh, and the SCV is going for the bunker behind the mineral line. Okay, cheeky move here out of Euthermal, does sneak in. Zealot was prioritized to make sure we were safe and sound. Reaper cleaning up the probe, and there it is, there's that bunker behind said mineral line. The goal here is to deny mining at the natural for as long as we can. And the Reaper is on the way, but it will miss the Zealot. As the chaos is ensuing, Zealot making its way towards the main. Reaper moving in. Is going to hit that natural. And we'll see how long it takes for Night Phoenix to deal with this, as once again we still send our first Adept across the map as well. Uh-oh. Which means we don't have much at home to defend. Adept just now popping out. We force back the Reaper into the bunker. Tech Lab under fire, taking a lot of hits. And the Tech Lab might actually go down. With this Adept, we can deny repairs. Yeah, SCV's being forced back. More SCVs forced off the line. There's no production. There's nothing to defend. Tank is on the way, but we are getting so much damage done. Oof. Yeah, as the SCVs are all forced back. Another SCV coming in. And mate, the workers, they're all so low. Oh my god. Euthermal does keep his workers alive, but they're all on the brink. Marines do pop out. And this is a one base all in. I should emphasize that as well. There's no command center. There's no expansion. One base all in from Euthermal, getting into his 3-1 setup. And we're rushing out our tank and moving out across the map. Bunker is salvaged. Reaper sipping in. Jesus, how many workers is this? It's so many of them. Look after your boys, Papi. Now, what this means is, with this one base all in, we actually won't be able to pull the boys. I mean, if we did, like, they wouldn't really add much buffer is the problem. So I'm a little bit concerned as to the execution of this. Does mean we have to rely on purely our Marines and tanks. Like, the option of pulling the boys with this is not going to be as effective as it otherwise should. Yeah, I was about to say, that's what I'm saying. Smooch. I mean, what? Yeah, like, what do we do? I mean, we're committing. We have to. Ay. Okay, so he does intentionally pick the high HP SCVs, pulls a couple of them, keeps the others back at home. Bit of a Frankenstein one base all in. Moving out across the map. Night Phoenix getting ready. We do have some stalkers. Shield battery is up. Tank shot's going to be going up. Pylon is going to be killed. And Euthermal does push his way forward with supply blocked. Oh, now it's not the time. The Immortal is not coming out. No. Yeah, the supply block is real. 2 pylons thrown down, but it might just be too late. Thermal, this might be too much. Even with barely any SCVs. Yeah, we get on top of the Robo. Robo's under fire. Pylon is shut down, depowering the shield battery. And Night Beast is up against the wall. Boys are being pulled. We dive on top of the tanks. Massive tank shots go off. GG gets called, and Uwu Thermal takes the game, and it's our new King of the Hill. GG. Imagine pulling off the 1-base all-in without even needing the boys, papi. GG, well played. Again, that was such an unlucky supply block for Night Phoenix. Maybe a little bit overconfident there, but that supply block did ruin him. Alas, we couldn't warp in any extra units. That denied the Immortal. The Immortal was so crucial there in that defense. Alas, we couldn't make anything. And Euthermal snowballs out of control. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. Euthermal is going to be our new King of the Hill. And the question becomes, who will face off against him next? Who will be our new and next challenger? Here we go. Again, we saw plenty of other players in the back line here. We have plenty of the Polish Protoss players available, I'm sure. Plenty of the Polish Protoss players. We sometimes have some Koreans as well. Players like Nightmare, players like Keen. Do have some Koreans popping in from time to time. Oh, and we have... It's going to be purely PvT tonight, isn't it? It's going to... Ay, ay, ay. It is going to be Euthermal up against another upcoming Protoss player who's been quite impressive as of late. It is going to be Euthermal versus Shameless. Let's go. He's Shameless, papi. Again, we've been featuring Shameless quite a bit this year. Throughout the year of 2024. And has been on the rise. I mean, Shameless has been around for a couple of years, but it was really only the end of last year where we started competing and comparing against some of the other top-tier players in Europe. He did pose a challenge to them, was taking maps, taking series. I believe Shameless is like 17. He's like 17 or 18. He's very young. Very young player. Let me just double check that. Let me just double check. Terran greater than Protoss confirmed. True, true. Pongarino. But yeah, Shameless, he's 18, yeah. I knew it was like 17 or 18. So very young player. Has been showing a little potential as of late as well. As we might go on a small break here. I mean, just quickly going over what we've had so far. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been that long, but we're a third of the way through. We're a third of the way through here. It is 15 best of ones in total. We just wrapped up with 5 of them. We just wrapped up with 5 best of ones, and we have 10 more ahead of us. Oh boy. And I guess a big reason why it feels like it hasn't been that long is because we've had a lot of aggression. We've had a lot of all-ins, whether it's 1 base or 2 base all-ins. We had that one more macro game between Night Phoenix and Honmono. But even then, like, it was not really full macro, and we didn't get into like a 4 base setup or anything like that. So yeah, some just really high octane games here so far, and we'll see if that continues. We shall see. Otherwise, I hope everyone in the chat has been enjoying themselves. Great to see that we're going to be seeing some more Mark as well. Some more Uwu Thermal. Some more Uwu Thermal as, yeah, we're just waiting for our players to be ready for us, then we can jump in. Otherwise, let's quickly have a look at some of our stats as well. Oh, no, we're good. We're good to go. He's back. He's back. Yeah, it is going to be Shameless's map of choice. And it's great to see Mark returning to competitive form. I think Marky was talking about it on stream recently, but for a very long time, Mark was only just a content creator. He was only just, you know, making YouTube videos. He stopped competing, stopped being a pro. But yeah, for whatever reason, after joining Offside Esports and competing in WTL, like, it feels like that that fire has been lit once again in Uthermal. You know, once again, he's just regained his passion and has been competing a lot more in all these online events, and has been practicing a lot more as well. It's been really cool to see. Has been really cool to see. And we'll see how he compares against some of the next generation, some of these younger players in Europe. Once again, we have our map of choice. It's going to be Oceanborn. Let's go. Oceanborn up next. Here we go. Now, despite talking about how, like, you know, he's been practicing a lot, he's been playing a lot, he's been improving, he's still a very cheesy player. He's like, nowadays we've seen a lot of chaos, a lot of 1-base, 2-base all-ins, some proxies, some wild builds, and I would not be surprised if we see something like that again. We shall see. We're diving in to Oceanborn. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our current king of the hill from the land of the Netherlands. We have the Red Terran player representing Offside Esports, Uwu Thermal. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, the young up-and-comer representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Go. To update his team. Did accidentally show the 3D Clan logo. He was on 3D Clan, no longer, as once again we have the same setup. We have the racks thrown out at the third base location, designed to force an overreaction and designed to, yeah, force the Protoss player to think, oh, second guess themselves and overreact and panic a little bit. Just a nice little cheeky move here in the early game from Uthermal. And we'll see how Shameless decides to react. Again, Night Phoenix wasn't playing too badly in the last game. It was just a brutal supply block, right? Like, the supply block was just so unfortunate for Night Phoenix. So probe is slipping in. Checking back in the back of the main base, making sure that there is no hidden racks. You can see here checking the natural. And we are going to be heading over towards the third base location. Do we come across the proxy, though? It looks like we will. It looks like we will check the triangular third, and we do get eyes on the racks. So now Shameless, he's fully aware that he's safe and sound. Won't be caught off guard. SV sneaking behind the mineral line, once again going for the bunker behind the mineral line to deny mining for as long as we can. Bunker is on the way. Shameless opening up a depth. This time did not make a zealot, not like how Phoenix approached this. Or Night Phoenix. As the first Reaper has arrived, dipping into the main. We'll get a free shot off. Gets behind the mineral line. Readying those probes. Oh, doesn't quite get them. Taking some extra hits, but will escape and will get into that bunker. Does dive in. We have our take of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council opener here from Shameless. I imagine working towards Blink. Meanwhile, the bunker is done. to be a safe haven here for this Reaper. We also have the SCV, which can repair as well to keep the bunker alive a little bit longer. And back at home, it's, not going to be a one-base solid. We're expanding. Let's go. I wasn't sure if we would, but we have an expansion on the way. Euthermal is taking his natural. Now, this could still lead into a two-base all-in, 100%, but for now, we are throwing down the CC. Shameless does push forward, trying to get within range. Ooh, nice dodging there from Euthermal. You can see him juggling that SCV. Getting some repairs off. Oh, ooh, does take a hit. Cycling from behind. SCV does avoid those shots. Just barely, but we should force a salvage. Oh my god, the KDA charge. Buying some extra time. There is a salvage on the bunker. Cyclone hits the natural, but will be fended off, and the Reaper dives into the main base. We're not quite catching any probes, but does scout. So even though the Reaper went down, we got a full scout of the main. We confirmed the Twilight Council and the Blink. We also confirmed the single gateway in the main and the gateway at the natural. So far, just 2-gate Blink. 2-gate Blink at a Shameless. And we'll see if any additional gateways get thrown down, or if we just expand. If we just expand. So for now, the tanks are building up. Getting into additional tank production. Working towards stim and combat shields. There's our 3-1-1 setup. I misspoke. 3-1 setup. This looks like a 2-base all-in. The reason why I say this is because there's no starport. The starport is heavily delayed in favor of stim and combat shields and our 3-rack setup, so we're just building up a massive bio army. This, we could end up pulling the boys. We could pull the boys with this and just send it across the map, or we could throw down a starport and look to expand. I'm leaning more heavily here towards just sending it across the map. Observer will get eyes on the tank army. On the main force. You have to be very careful with this observer, and Euthermal, does he get eyes on it? Oh, not quite. Observer does get away. Back at home, we do delay our expansion in favor of the bay. Oh, Euthermal goes for the scan, and will barely get the observer. Observer goes down. Shameless, thankfully, again, did delay the 3rd base, working towards Colossus production. The first Immortal's on the way, and we pull the boys. We spoke about it. 2-base all in here from Euthermal. A massive, terrifying army. Shameless moving out to try to slow this down, but Shameless, he does miss the main army. Gets a Cyclone. But Euthermal does not slow down. Keeps on pushing. Shameless out of position. We siege. No, took off the ramp. Ooh, massive connections. Taking the tank shots to the face, and with that, Euthermal snowballing out of control, pushing out across the map, hitting the 3rd base. What do we have to defend? We have 1 Immortal, we have a handful of units, we have a shield battery, but no overcharge. The Immortal goes down, there's nothing left. And the all-in has right, we have an overcharge here at the natural, it is depowered. And again, we're down to 1, down to 2 Stalkers, nothing else left. GG gets called, and Euthermal will take down Shameless. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, all-ins and aggression are kind of the what Euthermal was known for. I was gonna say like the calling card, but it's kind of what he's been known for as of late, and yeah, he's doing it quite well here. Shameless unfortunately missed the move out. He missed the move out. The observer got sniped as he moved out with the stalkers. He got behind the army instead of in front of it, and we saw the Euthermal set up that trap, siege up on the high ground, and got some massive volleys off on the stalkers, and yeah, the dominoes started falling from then on forward. Things escalated very quickly out of control. GG, well played. GG, well played, and Euthermal will continue his reign as our King of the Hill. GG. And the question becomes, who's up next? Who can challenge Euthermal, who can challenge his reign here. Again, I feel like a Protoss player would lead to more aggression and more all-ins from the side of our Terran player. I would love to see Euthermal against a Zerg or even another Terran. I mentioned before I was praising Euthermal's TVT and how insanely good he is at it. So, yeah, even against a player like Spirits, like, I don't know, it's hard to say, especially in the best of one. Especially in that best of one. For now, though, it looks like it might be another Protoss. Okay. It might be. It looks like we're looking for our player, and if we do find them, then going to be slotted in. Otherwise, we might find another player instead. Who do you want to see? When is the playoffs games for ESL Masters Spring? I believe it's in a couple of hours. Let me just double check. DreamHack Dallas is going to be in 3.5 hours time. It's going to be 3.5 hours. But if I remember correctly, there's going to be a show match, right? There's going to be the SC Evolution, or the mod that like blends together Brood War and StarCraft 2. I believe there's going to be a show match today. At DreamHack. There's also going to be oh god, right. I think that show match involves the world versus Korea. Is it Korea versus the world? It's not quite Korea versus the world, but they're setting something up like that. Let's check Twitter. I believe you can vote on Twitter on who you want to be on either team, if I remember correctly. Let's have a look. Oh, that's it. Team Texas versus Team the World. That's it. So not Korea versus the world, but Texas versus the world. And that's going to be the SE2 Evolution mod show match. There you go. There you go. They did a GSL one and it was pretty good. Or I mean, GSL versus the world. That was like a proper event. That was like that was like a thing. This is just going to be a show match. People at DreamHack can vote, yeah. I've been wanting to watch that. Nice. Yeah, we weren't able to cast it last time. I wasn't able to watch it. I wasn't able to watch the Afrika event that they had like a month ago, just because we were casting at the time. Like we were casting at the same time as the show match, so I couldn't watch it. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, I'm sure. Be a lot of fun. But yeah, that is in 3.5 hours. So by the time we wrap this up, it's gonna be pretty close. It's gonna be pretty close to the start time for DreamHack Dallas. Pretty damn close. Hello, Revolver. Happy Revolver. Full gas is already on 2 bases. Should be Colossus before third. Yeah. I mean, kind of. Like we had the Bay before third, but yes. Bay before third, but unfortunately, no Colossus in time. Unfortunately. Team Texas, and we can all vote for Team World. Yeah. When is DreamHack show match again? So it looks like the DreamHack show match is before the finals. It's going to be the semifinals first, and then the show match, then the grand finals. That's what the schedule looks like it's going to be. As we have our next challenger here. Okay, we have once again another TVP. Shouldn't be a surprise, as we do have a lot of Protoss players available to us. We have a lot of Protoss players available to us here, and it's going to be Ziomek rising to the challenge. Ziomek, of course, one of the many Polish Protoss players out there. You know, we have players like Ziomek, players like Rodzin, players like Geralt, Christianer, and many others. Papi, for example. I'm sure they're going to be coming out one after the other. So, in game 1, we had Uthermal go for a 1-base all-in. Game 2, we had a 2-base all-in. Game 3, 3-base all-in? Is that what? do we now like take more bases and expand more? I'm curious. I'm ready. As spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our current King of the Hill, our reigning King of the Hill, the Red Terran player from Land of the Netherlands, representing Offside Esports. It is Uwu Thermal. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing the Super People's Esports. Let's go. It is Ziomek. Let's go. It's Ziomek, right? Oh god, I'm nervous, Papi. I just want to say you're saying Ziomek very nicely, like a Polish person. I try my best. Siema, Papi, siema. I try my best. I try at times. I stumble a little bit. It's not Ziomek. I know that much at least. But here we go. As our first probe is moving out across the map. Likewise, this time we do see Uthermal not going for the racks out in the open, not going for a hidden racks, but it's back in the main base instead. Much more standard setup here from our Terran player. It is going to be a single gas opener, so it should be a racks expand, something more economic from Uthermal. But again, we've seen nothing but aggression and all-ins from our Terran players so far. Is that all we have to offer, or can we embrace a longer macro game? I'm ready to experience some more sides, some more facets and faces of Uthermal. Show us what you're made of. Go. As we do see Ziomek going for his expand, going for the expand. Soon to be throwing down his tech of choice once the cyber core is done. We'll keep an eye on our Protoss player. There's our expansion from Uthermal. And again, we're loading into Amphion. Interesting, as we are going for a second racks behind this. Okay. Not what I was quite expecting here. But this could be the beginning of a 3 racks. We could enter a 3 racks build here, which is a little bit more old school. We rarely do see it. But I'm ready for it. Reaper does slip in. Does catch a probe. And probe goes down. We dive into the main base. Adept is here, but just barely not keeping up. We have our take of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council from Ziomek. Reaper not quite able to scout this. Not yet. Being zoned away by the Adept. And it looks like the Adept will barely catch, but not after the scout comes in. As we got eyes on the Twilight Council. We've seen all, we know all. We're aware of the blink. Behind this, we are going for not a third racks, but that is going to be a factory follow-up instead. Okay, something a little bit different. Tech Lab is finishing up. I imagine to rush into Stim. And this is kind of like a 2-1-1 variation. You don't often see 2-on-1s in this matchup. It's more of a rarity nowadays. There was a period in time, I want to say like a year ago, where we saw players like Bjorn and players like Clem like mix it in a little bit, but it was like trendy for like a month, and that was it. And yeah, 2-on-1. Okay. we're playing this out like a TVZ. I'm ready for it. Marine starter step in, and Ziomek a little bit late to respond. A little bit late to react. Adept does go down. Stim is on the way. The way this works, I imagine, is to work towards a Stim medevac timing. No reactor on the rack, so no add-on swap. So it looks like we're going into just vanilla medevac production. But we're building up towards that Stim timing. Marauders on the way. Again, a very unique build, I would say. Very unique build by our Terran player. Meanwhile, Ziomek expanding, taking his third. We have our robot follow-up. It looks like, yeah, just a 2-gate blink opener here from Ziomek. 2-gate blink into the expand, so a little bit more economic from our Protoss player. It is more of an economic build. And we don't have much on the map, unfortunately. Observers on the way, but we need to get eyes on this. We need to get vision on the move out. Here we go. Speaking of, Euthermal is moving out. Oh boy, that's a lot of Marines, that's a lot of Marauders. We don't see this coming ahead of time. No shield battery set up here at the natural or in the third base. We do have some Stalkers, but again, it was 2-gate blink. Observer moves out, and so far we have not seen the army. We do get eyes on the medevac at least, and now we know. Now we know what's going on, but is it too late? Remember, stim is done. And we dive on in. Oh, force out the blink. Blink is forced, but we dive on top of the army. We just don't even care. We do commit. No shield battery. Boys being forced off the mineral line. Probes are going down. They're lining up. The Hellion shots. The Heli volley is just too much as we bust into the main. 13 probes go down. And Euthermal, this might just be too much. We're down to 3, down to 2 Stalkers. 2 Stalkers remaining. Not like this. 17 probes going down, and we're not done. Not even close. With the help of these Marauders, we can focus on the Stalkers as well. And this is getting out of hand. GG gets called. We snowball out of control, and Euthermal takes down another challenger. GG. Oh. GG, well played. A very interesting build here from Euthermal, going for like a 2-on-1 variation without going for any kind of reactor add-on swap, just prioritizing Marines and also prioritizing Marauders as well. That was an interesting kind of addition to the 2-on-1 is Marauder production. It wasn't too many, but like a handful of Marauders, they add quite a bit of DPS, they add quite a bit of utility to the army. And with that, unfortunately as well, from the side of Jamek, didn't see it coming, right? If we had an Adept outside the natural or a Stalker or anything to just scout any kind of move out, then that would have meant a faster shield battery, right? Like a faster shield battery, an overcharge as well. Suddenly a different game, right? We have a different game if we knew it was coming, but by the time we realized what was going on, it was too late. It was too little too late. GG, well played. Euthermal does take down another Protoss player, and now we're getting into our next opponent. Oh, okay, here we go. We are switching regions, switching servers. No longer do we have a Protoss contender. Up next is going to be another king, another ruler, if you will. It is going to be the King of the Sea himself, Euthermal versus Miyamika. Let's go. Let us go. And the King of the Sea is here. Is back. I don't get to cast as much Miyamika as I used to. Back in the day, we used to host GPO, which was a regional like oceanic tournament, and we'd be able to cast Miyamika on a weekly basis. Nowadays, you know, we don't host that event anymore, and I miss my Mio. I miss him, Pat. I miss him. I'm Miyamika. Let's go, Pat. Let's go. So players are getting ready. Again, I'm curious what map Miyamika is going to be going for. I would imagine Ancient Cistern. Oh, actually, I was going to say an older map like Ancient Cistern would be maybe advantageous for Zerg players, but at the same time, Miyamika is a much more aggressive player. So, we shall see. We shall see. As we are loading in. So I'm catching up with the chat. I'm catching up, Pat. I'm catching up. What DreamHack show match? The SC Evo show match. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be before the finals. Is it Geomech or Geomech? Cyril Clem Raider, all Texan, exactly. They're all from Tejas. I believe Kellezer is like the team leader of Team Texas? Question mark? I can't remember. They interviewed him about it, I think. But here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have our contender. We have the King of the Sea from the land of Vietnam, the Teal Zerg player representing Team Goes to. Oh, I have to fix up the nameplates. It is Mio Micah. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Orange Terran player from land of the Netherlands representing Offside Esports, our current King of the Hill. Some know him as a Protoss enjoyer, the Protoss fan, or even the YouTube man, but he is Uwu Thermal. Here we go. And I'll get the nameplates going. Hold on. Uwu Thermal. Do I have the orange color set up? I might not. I do. Okay. Bam. Okay, we got you. And Mio Micah, of course, has a very unique playstyle. It's going to be a pool first out of Mio Micah. Just because it's a pool first doesn't mean it's necessarily an aggressive opener. It is more safe than anything, and Mio Micah is very fond of rushing Hydra. In this matchup, I mean, we saw something similar out of Eba at the start of the night, with Eba also rushing Hydra against Nicorakt in game number 1, and I expect something similar here from Mio Micah. Again, he's very fond of Ling Hydra, and will try to flex that whenever possible. For now, just going for the pool expand into delayed gases. Queens are on the way. Euthermal going for, interesting, a Rax expand into the reactor. I believe we skipped the Reaper. Yeah, we have skipped the initial Reaper. Going reactor first. A little bit greedy, but we are going for the SCV scout. We confirm the delayed hatchery, and we will confirm the faster spawning pool. But as we can see, even though it's a faster pool, no lings. No ling production here, only drones. And Euthermal should confirm this. Back at home is already amassing Marines. Now, Euthermal has been very cheesy against his Protoss opponents. I'm unfamiliar with how he approaches Zerg players. I know he plays more standard against Terran. Like, I gotta praise him wherever I can. But he has really solid TVT, really solid macro TVT as well. Against Zerg players, we'll see how we meme things up. I wouldn't put it past him to go for like a Hellbat all-in or like a Hellbat opener or something like that. We'll see. As our Marines are hunting down the Overlord and will catch it. Yeah, there's nothing to save this Overlord. No lings on the ground. And no high ground either. The Overlord will fall. Mio Micah going for a Roach Warren. Okay, let's go. Rushing into a very early Roach Warren. And because there's no Reaper, because there's no Hellion, there's no Scout. There is no vision, no scouting whatsoever. Euthermal, he went for an SCV Scout earlier, but he has no idea what is coming next. Is playing in the dark. And playing in the dark against Mio Micah is terrifying. You could make an argument that maybe scouting Mio Micah can hurt you more than not at times. Like, that's also applicable in certain instances. But we do thankfully have Euthermal opening up Banshee. There's Yaddle on top, Banshees are on the way. Banshees are ideal against roach-based builds. They can help deter those roaches. Banshee production has commenced, tank production thereafter. But here come the roaches. They're on the way. Roaches are amassing, lings move out. Euthermal does have the safety bunker on the low ground. And Mio Micah, do we commit? We do get eyes of the defensive position. We get eyes of the bunker. More lings on the way. Still no droning. Yeah, Mio Micah, no fear. I imagine is banking up gas for Ravagers. I imagine we're going to be morphing in as many Ravagers as possible. We will bile down the bunker. But we're going to have a tank. This tank is seconds away. Seconds away from finishing. Banshee, first one has come out, moving out across the map, looking to threaten these mineral lines. And there are the Ravagers. They're morphing in. We have 5 Ravagers morphing in, and just pure lings behind this as well. And Euthermal has still no idea. He doesn't know, but he is set up defensively. Now, what will we bile down? Do we go for the bunker or the tank? So don't have vision of the tank. We don't know what's there yet. You can see we're still banking up. Oh, soon a second tank is coming out for Euthermal. Banshee yet to move in. I feel like once the Banshee reveals itself, that's go time. We're pulling the trigger. Oh, as the bunker is salvaged. Uh-oh. Euthermal's moving out. He's moving out into an all-in. Aye. Not like that. Okay, he does siege up, but again, without that bunker, suddenly a less defensive position. Banshee does reveal itself. Drones are going down, but Miyamake is going for the kill. Going for the dive. The Biles, they're stacked up. Both tanks go down. No bunker, no tanks. Boys are being pulled. And the Ravagers are going ham. Oh my god, we just can't. Oh, the friendly fire. Calm down. We bounce off our own lings. We back off. Tank has arrived. The tank is here. We're focusing on the Ravagers. Can Miyamake break this? Another tank's going to be falling, but we're running out of lings. GG, we hold. We barely hold on. It costs us 24 SCVs, but we focus on the Ravagers, and Euthermal holds on to that crown. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Euthermal will survive. We'll take it. I was so concerned, especially with the first two tanks going down, but we pulled the boys. We barely hold on. The Banshees came back home. They were able to focus down those Ravagers one after the other, and GG. Congratulations here. Euthermal does survive the enigma that is Miyamake. And Euthermal is going on quite a win streak here. We've had quite a number of wins so far from other players, but Euthermal, he's on what, 4 wins? My god. A lot of wins. 4 wins under his belt. Can he be stopped? Can Euthermal be stopped by any other challenger here? I mean, we still have plenty of players in the back line, plenty of top tier players as well. Again, this only gets harder and harder. It's a bit of a stamina test as well, like Euthermal, going from player to player, series to series, match to match. It is also an endurance test. Can Euthermal keep up? Oh, as we are headed back to the land of Europe. We're heading back to the land of Europa, and once again, it's going to be a Terran versus Protoss. Here we go. We'll have to double check the team. We'll have to double check. There we go. And we have our next series. We have our next matchup. It's going to be Euthermal versus Ashbringer in a TVP. Ashbringer, of course, representing Team Starcom. Just setting that up. Oh my god, we're... Okay. I was like, are we going to be spawning into Oceanborn again? No, that's the Vita. That's the Vita. Wait, is it Oceanborn? Is it? I'm a little bit confused, because Euthermal said, yeah, it is going to be Oceanborn. Yeah. PLHF. Okay, go. We've had a lot of games on this map. We had so many TVPs specifically on this map, but we're diving in once again, and so far Euthermal has been looking unstoppable, but I'm sure Ashbringer has been watching. I'm sure he's been lying in wait. I'm sure he's been planning and conspiring here to bring down our King of the Hill. What do we have planned? What do we have in store for him? Typically, it's been Euthermal being the aggressor. That was a little bit different with Miyamika, but I wonder how Ashbringer will approach this. Show us what you got. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have our teal Protoss player representing Team Starcom, our current contender, our new challenger. It is Ashbringer. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have we have our green Terran player experiencing a bit of an overlay bug, but if we have to remake, of course we will. But we have, from the land of the Netherlands, our current King of the Hill. It is Euthermal. With a new overlay, apparently. So there is sometimes a bug in StarCraft where you load in and you get a random UI. It's very common to get like the Diva UI I say the Diva UI, the Twitch UI, for example, and stuff like that. It is a bug that occurs, and again, if our players wish, we can always remake, we can always restart. But it looks like Euthermal is going to be playing out on it, and we are going for a bit of a proxy. Okay, we have a Rax back at home. And what do we have across the map? Show us what you got. I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. Light rage at the lack of map variety. I was just concerned. It's fine, it's fine. Look, I just want to see Ancient Cistern, okay? That's all I want. As we're going for a proxy factory now, I imagine this is going to be proxy factory into proxy starport. If it's a starport, then it could be a Hellion drop into the main base. That is not an uncommon build. As the probe is shut down. So I'm curious if we're going for the starport as well. Euthermal, he's cooking, Bob. He's cooking. Meanwhile, we do see Ashbringer scouting the edge of the map. Is going to be checking his 4th base location. Ooh, and will check the 5th. And just like that, Ashbringer will come across the proxy. Yep, it is going to be the Hellion into the starport. It's going to be a Hellion drop into the main, but we have scouted. We have found this out. Yeah, fully aware of what's going on, and the likelihood of this getting damage done is that much lower. Ashbringer tasing away at that SCV. And behind this, soon to be throwing down our take of choice. Ooh, as the SCV's denied that starport. Whew, Hellion does come out in time. Oh, do we get the SCV? Ooh, we do not. Worker does survive. Hellion production is continuing. But again, we now know what's going on, and Ashbringer should be aware of the potential of a Hellion drop. Wait, Forge first? wait, what? Okay, we might think it's gonna be a Widowmine drop even. So with the Forge, we're gonna get cannons, and that'll give us detection in the mineral lines? Question mark? I was not expecting a Forge opener. That's caught me off guard a little bit. Show us the cannons. Okay. So it looks like Ashbringer, he's getting ready for the worst here, assuming that it's gonna be like Widowmines and like maybe like a fast drilling claws or something. Cannons will help, of course, against that kind of setup. But Hellions are on the way. You have 2 Stalkers in position. And 3 Hellions will one-shot a probe. Especially if they line up. We're headed for the natural. And making our way to the natural base. Probes are going to be taking some hits. Marines coming in from left-hand side. 1, 2 workers going down. But we're hoping for more. Yes, Ashbringer is defending. We drop into the main. We have a cannon in position. You get some extra volleys in. And alas, this is not getting too much done. We're going for the medevac. Ooh, barely does escape. Barely does get away. Whew. As the medevac and some of these Hellions will survive. Widowmine coming in. And back at home, we're expanding. We're calming things down. We're taking our natural. Meanwhile, from the side of Ashbringer, with the Forge opener, once we beat out a Stalker, good pickoff for you, Thermal. But with our Forge opener, we have insanely fast +1, and we can get into +2 from here. Twilight Council is done. We do have the Chrono on it, rushing into charge. Very unorthodox playstyle here from Ashbringer, going into charge lots. Okay, skipping out on gases, and this can hit quite hard. This can be the beginning of our own all-in. Yeah, 6 gates on 2 bases. We can take a third, but again, we're not taking extra gases, just mass charge lots. Alright, I'm here for it. I'm ready for like a 3 base, 8 gate all-in. For now, 6 gateways. 4 now. Okay, extra gas is being taken here. Add to the natural. +2 has begun. Insanely fun. We're gonna have +2 when we have +0 for the Terran. It's crazy. Bay is on the way. Okay, so we're not just relying on charge dots. We're taking up. I mean, that's what we're using this gas for. Bay before the expand. Back at home, we do see Euthermal building up his 3-1-1 setup, getting into Stim, Combat Shields, his bio-based army, Mass Marine. And here comes that eventual expand from Ashbringer. We go. So I was expecting a bit of a stronger timing with Zealots. I mean, that's why we threw down so many gateways. Otherwise, we could have technically expanded a little bit faster if we had delayed our gates. Ashbringer working towards Colossus. Okay. Skipping Warpins. We have all these gateways, but yet to really reinforce, as this is our army. So just skipping Warpins, getting into Colossus, expanding. This means that we are vulnerable, by the way. Here comes the army. And Ashbringer doesn't have much to work with. Uh-oh. We don't have much to work with. Shield battery is about to finish up. But here comes the drop. Here comes the sim timing. And we're going for the cancel. Yeah, we're going for the Nexus. Nexus is denied at the same time. Hellions into the natural base. Probes are going down as we drop into the main. The Bay. No shot. We can go for the Bay and we go for the pylon. Whew. We'll at least depower everything. Delaying the upgrade. Fighting against the Zealots. Being forced back. Medevacs do survive. And yeah, Ashbringer is struggling here. Stuck on 2 bases, bleeding out 6 probes. Now we have a Colossus, now we can hold. But the damage was done, and Euthermal is expanding. For the first time, Euthermal's taking a third. He's crazy. He's actually expanding. It's been nothing but 1 or 2 base all-ins. But not this time. He knows how to throw down a third CC. Let's go. We have a drop on the right hand side. It's going to be a mine drop towards the natural. Army getting ready to deny the third base once again. And it can Ashbringer keep up. Now up to 2 Colossus. I mean, again, this Colossus-based army is looking quite terrifying, but really, Euthermal, his goal here is to distract the main army, and then bam, dive in with the drop. The Widowmines hit first. Widowmines get cleaned up. A little bit disjointed, the timing here from Euthermal. Again, the goal, I imagine, was first to drag the army out of position. Widowmine is coming back in, but we do react in time. Getting a Zealot. Widowmine does escape. And Ashbringer has been unable to expand. There's been no third base attempted since the first one went down. And we are, looks like, just doubling down into a 2 base all-in. We have 3 Colossus. I mean, that's a pretty hefty army. That's a solid backbone here to the Protoss. But the longer this goes on, the worse it becomes for Ashbringer. Yeah, and here comes the Prism. Prism is to reinforce. We're going for the all-in. I say that probes are moving out to potentially expand. Oh, okay, we're pulling away. I was like, are we expanding? No. Mindjo comes back in. Back at home, we're set up. We have turrets, we have Widowmines, we have bunkers. Viking production underway to help against those Colossus. Ghost Academy for eventually Ghost production. Here we go. Ashbringer is moving out. And what do we have to work with? So we have 3 Colossus, 2 Archons, an Immortal, a massive amount of charge lots. Again, we have that prism to warp in. Yeah, we are committed. It's all or nothing for Ashbringer. We're pushing into this defensive line. It's not going to be easy. Yeah, more turrets on the way. Great in that Sim City. First mine shot's going up. Oh, Zealots are getting annihilated. Colossus trying to come in from behind, but they're stuck in the back line. The Colossus not adding any DPS here. Yeah, we clean up the ground army, the Archons, the Zealots, and now we can focus on the Colossus. Yeah, they're going to be going down one after the other. There's nothing left. GG gets called. And Euthermal will take down another challenger. GG. Oh, God. He can't be stopped. GG, well played. I liked the quirky nature of this game from Ashbringer. Like, I think it was a really... it was just a really weird start to the game for both players, right? Like, Euthermal went for a proxy that failed, or I should say, a proxy that got scouted. We had Ashbringer responding with a Forge into charge of all things, into 6 gates, but then we expand and we don't make use of the gateways. Like, there was a lot of twists and turns from the side of Ashbringer. Unfortunately, maybe just being a little bit too fancy there. It did mean that the third was late. Because the third was late, it went down to the drop play of Euthermal. It was denied, it was killed. Or cancelled, my apologies. So we forced a 2-base all in, and yeah, there was just a lot that came into that, a lot that went against Ashbringer in the end. GG, well played. Euthermal takes down another opponent. And who's next? Who's next to try to face off against Euthermal? Who can bring him down, if anyone? Who can do it? We are settling in. Get Uwu totally or something. Exactly. Get Uwu. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, we have our next challenger. We have our next would-be usurper. We have another European Protoss player, but this one is a cut above the rest. No shame to all the Protoss players that have risen already, but up next is the man of the hour himself. Has been an up-and-comer and one of the stronger players in the European region when it comes to the Protoss side of things for quite some time at this point. He's known for his mustache. He's one of the many Polish Protoss players out there. It is going to be Euthermal versus Geralt. Let's go. Do you have one of the best Protoss in Europe? Again, we do have, when it comes to the hierarchy of Protoss, we have sure Max Pax, we have Skillus, we have Showtime, but just under them, that's where we have Harstem, Geralt, that's where we have Mana, that's where we have Christianer. That's where the sea of Polish Protoss players lie, and Geralt, he's one of the best. Is one of the best. So this is going to be our next big challenge for Euthermal. He's been having some fun here with some all-ins and with some wild plays. But, can he take it to Geralt? Let's go. Let us go. The man of Rivia. Exactly. Geralt of Rivia. It's here to slay the beast that Euthermal has become. But first up, our map of choice. What do we have? Is it Oceanborn again? We've been casting so much Oceanborn. Do they know that we can play on Ancient Cistern or like Nightshade? Some other map? Maybe. Possibly. We'll see. We'll see. Go. Is it really an all-in if it's 3 base? Yes. There are 3 base all-ins. that's we see it a lot in. I mean, there are a lot of. I mean, yeah. I was gonna say there are like specific all like 3 base all-ins for certain races, but there's 3 base all-ins for all 3 races. Like there's like an 8 racks in TVZ where the Terran player doesn't take their gases at the third. Just goes up to 8 racks. Let's go. Okay, Geralt, he's been watching. He's like, okay. I got you, Bobby. I got you. We're not going into Oceanborn. We're going into Golden Aura. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, Golden Aura is coming up next for the first time tonight. I mean, was it once? Alright. Yo, Geralt, he's flaming the other toss players. He's like, yo, did Protoss really pick Oceanborn against you? What? Calm down, Geralt. Oh my god. He's flaming them. Kappa. Alright, we're getting ready. We're getting ready for our next game. Oh, Euthermal saying that he's used up all his builds for today. He only had 4. Oh no. What do we do? What do we have up our sleeve? Oh, Geralt's saying he has a special build. Let's go. Euthermal, he's saying, I ran out of builds. And Geralt's like, don't worry. I have one for you. I'm ready. I'm ready for Geralt. Isn't Oceanborn one of the best Terran maps? I think it's like, I think so, maybe. I don't know the stats. I haven't looked at the numbers. But we're diving into our next game and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura. We have our current King of the Hill. His reign has been a long one with 5 wins under his belt. A massive win streak so far. Bearing in mind, we have, we have 15 best of ones, and 5 of them have already gone the way of our Terran player here. The Green Terran representing Offside Esports. It is Uwu Thermal. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss. The ZVZ finals? Military versus that. Ah, wholesome. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is the would-be usurper. Our next challenger, it is Geralt. Aye. Let's go. But they're discussing the potential finals for DreamHack. Geralt believing in the TVT, Euthermal believing in the ZVZ. They both have their agenda. Just codes. True. Those are unfamiliar what they're talking about, or what Euthermal did mention, is that Dark is the dad now. He's a papi. He's a papi. Does have a daughter. I believe his daughter is called Star. I believe in Korean, which is really cute. It's a nice name. But yes, Dark is a papi. Of course, Cyril, now a military man. Basically, both players have like other things that take up a lot of their time. But we're settling into our game. We do have a double gas opener. Sorry, my apologies. I was just a little bit distracted. Double gas opener here out of Euthermal, going for a faster factory. Bunker has been thrown down behind the mineral line. The Rax was thrown down at the third base location. A bit of a hidden Rax, but the Reaper does reveal itself, shuts down the probe, and we're moving out across the map. Again, the goal here is for the Bunker to finish, is to delay mining at the natural for as long as we can. Zealot is moving out across the map, and the Zealot is actually going to be avoiding that Reaper and slipping out across the map. And this is the beginning of a one base all-in, because this isn't just a Rax into factory, that is a second Rax on the way. We're going to be pulling the boys. Going to be a one base all in here from Euthermal. Meanwhile, back across the map, the Adept gets a couple hits in, but no, the Reaper does get into the bunker just in time. And it isn't just a 2-rack setup, 3-racks. Okay, so it's going to be a 3-rack setup here on one base. Again, one base all in here from Euthermal, building up Marines, maybe squeezing out a Marauder or two, and pulling those boys. Geralt has yet to piece this together, as Geralt is moving out with his Adept. Opening up in a more standard fashion. And it is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Thankfully, with a Twilight Council, we should be getting into Blink, into additional gateways. Cyclone takes some extra hits, but ooh, it does get the lock on the Adept. Up! And the Adept goes down. These are some rough losses. The Adept is going to go down. The Zealot is going to go down as well. We do defend back at home. And what have we seen? Geralt, he did confirm. Okay, big scout here. Geralt did get eyes on both Raxes. So he's worthy all in. Reaper getting a probe in the main. A lot of chaos ensuing as we almost get another probe. Almost, but not quite. Twilight Council is spotted. Blink is now seen. And I'm hoping we throw down a Robo and a third gateway. As Geralt is setting up. And again, tank production underway. Okay, so it's going to be Mass Marine, no Marauders, and we're going to be relying on these tanks here as the backbone of our army. And there it is, Gateway Explosion. Oh, we canceled Blink. Okay, I was not expecting that. We're going to be canceling Blink, going for Charge. We have a 4-gate setup here for Geralt. And Mass Charge Lots would be a way to shut this down. Stalkers are moving out to meet the army. We spoke about this in the, was it the Ashbringer game? Sorry, the Night Phoenix game. Where Geralt wants to be out on the map. He wants to slow down this push, pick away at the Marines, force a stim, catch the tanks. I think it might have been the Ashbringer game. No, not quite the Ashbringer. Night Phoenix. Maybe some of the other Protoss games as well. As we have stim, we have combat shields. Thermal banking up, going for DT. Oh, he's crazy. Dark Shrine on the way. 2 more gates. Let's go. It's going to be a 6-gate setup on 2 bases with a Dark Shrine. I mean, DTs are really smart because, hey, we have 1 orbital. We have a very limited amount of scans available, especially because we're muling, because we're all in, and the boys have been pulled. The boys, they have been pulled. It's all or nothing here for Euthermal. A couple of SCVs going to be going down, but we do miss the main army. And Geralt, we need to warp in. We need as much as we can get. Second shield battery, sorry, third shield battery's on the way. We have an overcharge as well. Euthermal did not expand, thankfully. Did not take a third. It all comes down to this push. That tank taking a lot of hits. Oh my god. We don't quite get it, but it gets very low. And here come the charge lots. Yeah, the tank only 1 does siege. The others being focused on. We get 1 tank. But what about the Marines? Ooh, every single tank goes down, but the Mass Bio is breaking through, getting us up with the pylon. Shield batteries are still powered, just barely. Here we have the overcharge. Boys are being pulled. A very clutch defense here from Geralt, losing a lot of workers. Yeah, the Marines, they get so much up, but here come the DTs. And where is the detection? Where are the scans? Oh, we have 1. We have 1 scan, and we take down both DTs. We're doing it. We break through. No shot. We barely break through. We still have 1 DT in the main. But we're going for the mineral line. We're going for the probes. How many probes do we have left? Down to 15, 13, 11, 9, 8. Oh my god, barely any workers remaining. These DTs will clean this up, but we are down to 1 probe. 0 probes, 0 workers. And you know what? Euthermal has mules. We have, I mean, we need a scan to be fair, but we have SCVs. The DT count getting higher. Oh no. No, we can't make anything. We can't make a probe. Oh no shot. Euthermal, has he done it again? There's not enough money. With 20 minerals, we warped in 1 extra DT, which means we cannot afford a worker. We cannot macro out of this. What you see is what you get. Oh my god. And there it is. GG. Ah, smooch. Less than 3, Geralt, as Euthermal will take it. And we'll claim another victim. GG, Poppy. Still 1 base all in. GG. Geralt's being a little bit hard on himself there. If you missed it, he called himself the worst of all time. Ah, less than 3, Poppy. Hold on. Where's Geralt? Can I message him? GG, well played. Again, it was a clutch defense there. DTs, they did put in some work, but it was so unfortunate that the first scan caught 2 of those DTs in the one scan as well, as Uthermal was able to break through that line and take it in the end. Congratulations to Uthermal. My condolences to Geralt. Again, it was a close defense, and what I will say is that this defense was closer than any of the others we've had so far in OSC King of the Hill tonight. We've been seeing a lot more decisive executions of the one base all in from Uthermal, and a lot more one-sided kind of games because of it. But again, did come down to the wire there, and again, unfortunately, Geralt just could not stop the tide of Terran. And with that, we're getting ready for our next game. We're getting ready for our next game. Let's go. I think he said, yeah. He was referring to himself. Yeah. We love him. We love him. He's an amazing player. Este Geralt. GG, well played. GG. Ooh, as we have wrapped up 10 matches. That is 10 best of ones wrapped up here, and now we're getting ready for our final set of 5. We have 5 series left, 5 more chances for anyone to bring Uthermal down. And who's it going to be? Oh, for the first time tonight, it is not a TVP or a TVZ. It's going to be a TVT. Let's go. We have a Terran challenger instead. And what I love about this is the fact that Uthermal has been very cheesy this entire broadcast. But if there's ever a series where he can play macro and play a lot more straight up, is going to be the TVT matchup. Like Uthermal, he has insane TVT. He's a lot more confident, I imagine, in a longer mid game, even into macro game as well. I'm sure we're about to see a different side of Uthermal. Let's go. Let us go. I mean, it's always fun seeing these like fast, all-ins. It's always fun, but we're about to see something different. Watch our players like 2x Reaper each other, which could totally happen, by the way. Like 2x Reaper is not unheard of in the TVT, or just aggression in general. So yeah, I don't want to count my eggs before they hatch. Where we headed? Just setting things up. If you want, you can hazard a guess as to who the opponent is. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I'll give you a clue. It can't be. I mean, don't want to give it away. Maybe I do. He is one of the ex-Roddy boys. He's an ex-Roddy boy. Was at one point on Team Roddy. No longer. Of course, a European Terran player. That does kind of narrow it down quite a bit. Yeah, there you go. Cuckoo. Clearly, it's Raynor. True. It's Raynor. It's Uthermal. Let's go. But yes, Cuckoo is coming up next. Is our next challenger. I feel like he had a 50-50 chance because, wait, was Baby Marine ever on Team Roddy? Am I crazy? I was about to say 50-50 between Cuckoo and Baby Marine, but, okay, he was, yeah. That would have been the 2 viable options, I think. Here we go, we're diving in. There's Baby Marine too, yeah. Uthermal's a beyond impression incoming. Let's go, I'm ready for it. And I missed watching Euthermal. We've had a full night of Euthermal tonight, and will it continue as spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ghost River? We have our next challenger. For the first time, a Terran challenger against the Terran King. From the land of Romania, representing Red Pack Esports, it is CranKy. And spawning in the top right-hand corner with 6 wins under his... Is it 6? Hold on, let me just double-check that. Un momento. Yes, with 6 wins under his belt, the current king of the hill. Can he be stopped? Can anyone stop his reign of terror? The Red Terran for Offside Esports. It is Euthermal. I'll set up his name. I'll set it up. One moment. Bam. There we go. Whew. There we go. Our TVT is upon us. Is going to be a double gas opener here from CranKy. Likewise, double gas from Euthermal as well. Working towards faster factories. Working towards delayed expansions. And we're loading into Ghost River now. Talking about the map itself is quite small. It's quite short. Aggression is typically favored on a map as small as this. So we'll keep an eye on our players here with how aggressive we want to be. When I talk about aggression, we could be opening up with a Reactored Reaper Hellion, for example. Like with Mass Reaper Hellion early on. We can go into Cyclone production early on as well. We'll see what is done with our gases. What is done with our factories, more importantly. SCV Scout is coming in. Euthermal does confirm the opener. Does confirm the gas setup. Meanwhile, CranKy, no SCV Scout whatsoever from our blue Terran player. So CranKy's playing in the dark. Is going to be making some assumptions about his opponent. Again, we have seen plenty of TVTs where players just opt not to scout each other and just play things out safely early on. Don't move out with their initial units. Factories are on the way. There's that reactor for CranKy, so this could be the beginning of Reactored Reaper. We'll see. Keep an eye on him. Do have Euthermal just making his own Reapers back at home on the vanilla racks. First Reaper coming in. A bit of a risky maneuver here by CranKy. Ooh, does get some shots in, but has to back off. Again, so risky moving out with your first Reaper. Doesn't get caught out, thankfully for CranKy. Behind the CC on the low ground for both players. Both players are expanding. No one base all-ins. Bear that in mind. Haven't seen that in the past. And yeah, we do have those Reactored Reapers on the way. Now, do we just go up to 3 Reapers and get into Marines from there? Or do we go up to 5 Reapers and even more Hellions? Okay, we have our answer. We have our answer. It's going to be triple Reaper into Widowmine production into a drop. We shouldn't be committing too hard into additional Reapers. Okay. So we have our openers from the side of Euthermal getting to our 1-1-1. Into a more defensive setup, we have a safety Cyclone on the way into Marines, into drop play. Medevac should be on the horizon here for Euthermal. Should be the same for CranKy. But yeah, just triple Reaper, single Hellion. From our blue Terran player, you can see we're just taking a more defensive setup here. Back at home, we have the Widowmine on the low ground for any kind of dive. Euthermal getting to the faster Medevac, into the faster drop play. Outside of that, though, we're kind of easing our way into our TVT. We're calming things down. Expanding, saturating our bases. And here comes that drop, going for the double Cyclone drop and leaving the rest of the army back at home. There's a lot of potential here with these Cyclones. We can even catch the drop of our opponents, but CranKy actually going for the Tech Lab on that starport, going and rushing into Banshees. Into Ravens, the other one. Into Raven production instead. Raven tank on the way. Drop coming in, but CranKy is in position in the main base and will be able to deflect Euthermal. As we go straight for the mineral line. Yeah, we're going quite deep, and Euthermal is going to be forced back. Does keep the Cyclones alive for now. Will get away. But again, we're just going to be settling into our 2-base setup. We spoke about this before, about how in TVT, Euthermal does have some more macro tendencies. We could be working towards a bit of a longer one here. For now, just Tank Raven. Now we have our Tank Raven, catching a couple of SCVs. Oh, catching 4 SCVs. Not too bad. Oh my god. A bit of a late pick up there as one Cyclone does go down. do get 4 worker kills. So Thermal is going to race back home. Meanwhile, Cuckoo going for his own counterattack, getting some scanning information with these Reapers. Dips in, takes a big tank volley to the face. And we do confirm the 3rd CC. Again, 3rd CC on the way for Euthermal, 3rd CC on the way for Cuckoo. Again, we're entering the mid-game. Let's go. That's all I wanted. The problem with all those TVPs earlier is that they were like 5-minute games. It was just all in after all in after all in. But now we can sink our teeth into Euthermal versus Cuckoo. Gibbs, man, Gibbs. Does go down. You can see Euthermal being active here, trying to find some kind of damage. Was able to get a couple of SCVs earlier and can now threaten to dive into the main. Confirming as well, Euthermal has not actually seen the 3rd CC. Cuckoo is aware of the 3rd base of Euthermal, but the opposite is not true. Not yet. So dip in for a moment. We back the hell off. Euthermal moving out. Checking our army, we are working with 3 Ravens from both sides. It's going to be triple Raven versus triple Raven, triple tank versus triple tank. Similar army compositions. It's going to be all about that positional play as Euthermal getting within range of that gas geyser, I believe. Oh, yep. Is just barely within range. Gas is going to be shut down. So a nice pick off here from Euthermal. Oh, that is a kill as well. Killing the gas guys, and then we get the hell out of there. We just back the hell off. Cuckoo likewise moving out as well, hoping to catch the army. Uh-oh. And the armies will collide. Thermal backing up for a moment. Cuckoo is the first to seize, but the disables. Yeah, we disable all the tanks. Order starts to thrown down, and Euthermal catches out Cuckoo. GG gets caught as the army is completely cleaned up before we can take our 3rd bases, and Euthermal continues his reign. GG. Oh my god. For a moment there, I thought it was Euthermal getting caught out, but the disables were brutal. The Order Hearts as well. Cuckoo got locked down and lost everything in one split moment, in one fight. It all went awry. GG. Cuckoo bows out, and Euthermal is still our king of the hill. Can he be stopped? I just want our players to get into 3 base economies. That's all I want. It's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen here. Not yet, at least. GG, well played. Euthermal does it again, Bobby. Does it again. All these kids, by the way, we've been having like a bunch of like 17, 18, 19-year-olds now, early 20-year-olds come up, but Euthermal, hey, he's a veteran of the scene. Will not be knocked down. Can still take it to the best of them, to the next generation of pro gamers, to the young blood. Cannot keep up. Whew. And we have our next opponent. Have our next opponent here. Okay, it looks like we're going back to the Protoss. Going back to the Protoss here. And can we deal with Euthermal? Have we come up with another plan, with a better strategy or some kind of answer to the aggressive nature of Euthermal in the TVP matchup? It looks like we have a revive. This does happen from time to time, especially if we don't have as many players currently available. I do know that our lovely admin is searching and hunting down these players to get them ready to go. But up next is going to be Euthermal versus Hydra. Let's go. Fun fact, Hydra was showcased earlier today in this very tournament, but Hydra did not play against Euthermal. He played against Hon Mono earlier in the 3rd best of 1. But now we'll try his luck again, this time against a different Terran opponent. Oh boy. Here we go. So Hydra coming out for a 2nd time. Our players getting ready with their map of choice. I wonder, does Euthermal have another build ready for us? He told us earlier that he was running out of builds. That he was running out of ideas. We'll see if that's the case. Thor drop, please. Who Thor dropped recently? Was it was Gumiho. If you were watching our stream here on the CranKy Ducklings, we casted DreamHack over the weekend, 2 days ago, in the open stage. We casted, sorry, not in the open stage, yesterday in the knockout bracket, Gumiho versus Nice. Gumiho went proxy Thor. he went for a proxy Thor drop against Nice, and did win the game. It was wild. It was crazy. So Gumiho did flex the proxy Thor drop yesterday at DreamHack. We'll see if Uthermal can bring that out here tonight in OSC King of the Hill. I should revive Eva. Have Thermi in a random versus random. Oh, that'd be beautiful. We could bring him back. Could make that happen. Oh, is Uthermal doing it in YouTube and Gumiho copy that? True. Cap. The only answer. Catching up in the chat. Are any Ducklings playing today? Most likely not. I mean, Dolan and Patty Mac, they're currently at DreamHack. I know that I'm gonna expose Dolan and Patty. They're a little bit hungover. They had a wild night partying, and yeah, they've been enjoying themselves over at DreamHack. Have been enjoying themselves. Eric might be playing in an event coming up soon. Exciting times. We'll put an end to Uthermal's reign of terror. Exactly. He's been a tyrant, Bobby. Have you seen how Uthermal looks after his workers? He doesn't care about his boys. He sends them non-stop. Aye. The living conditions of his workers, of his SCVs. Smurge. He must be stopped. Do Ryu and Starduck count, or are they inactive? Starduck is inactive. Ryu does stream. But hasn't competed in a while. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into our next best of one. And sporting in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our green Terran player, our current king of the hill with 7 wins under his belt. He's crazy. Oh my god. Can he be stopped? Or is this just going to be a Uthermal of the hill? Is it over? Will he be our king for the remainder of the night? Representing Offside Esports, can he be stopped? It is Uthermal. I'll set up his name. I'll set it up. I got you. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, our new challenger, the red Protoss. He has been revived, brought back from the brink, rising from the ashes. Can he have a bit of better luck here in this revive? It is Hydra. Oh, we're proxying again. Let's go. Okay, so this is interesting. We have 1 Rax back at home, we have another Rax proxied, but we have a 3rd SCV, so we are planning to proxy again, and yep, here we go. It is going to be 3 Rax. It is going to be 3 Rax here from our Terran player. Aye. And we'll see if Hydra can piece this all together, can figure it out, and likewise survive the aggression. No gases have been taken. It's going to be Mass Marine from our green Terran. I believe, is this going to be a 4 Rax? I believe once we finish up this first Rax, we can send the SCV over and throw down another Rax and go for a 1 base 4 Rax all in and pull the boys with this. I've seen Homono do a variation of this, so I'm curious as no, we're just making Marines. Okay. We're not going for the 4 Rax. Marines are amassing. Hydra is scouting. He's checking. No. The tall grass. The tall grass does keep the build hidden, and Hydra will scout but will not find and come across the proxy. Is checking, is looking, checking the fringe edges of the map, but it's not going to happen. He won't find this. Oh boy. Okay. So we are expanding. It's going to be a gate cyber expand from the side of Hydra. Again, just checking the edges of the map. And here we go. Marines are moving out. The boys are being pulled. I spoke about this. The boys, they're here to die. They're on the front lines to tank for the Marines. Let's go, as it's completely all in here for you, Thermal. Back at home, no shield battery. We have one Stalker, we have one Adept. We're getting ready back at home, but alas, we had no idea this was coming. And we have to pull the boys as well. Hydra, he has to bring his workers here to the front lines to survive, to try to hold on. So far, we're cutting back to the mineral line. Probes are going to be pulled. And it looks like good starter stepping here from Thermal. He brings out the Adept. The Adept goes down, but we're up to 2 Stalkers. We do have 2 Stalkers available. Once again, decent starter stepping here. Again, Thermal, he needs to take down these Stalkers. Is forced to kite back against the probes, and it looks like the Stalkers are getting low. Oh, we're down to 3 Marines. Never mind. We have reinforcements coming in. The Stalkers are they're going down. Getting low, but it looks like, can we hold on? Again, 5 Marines left. Up. Down to 3. 3 Marines. Never mind. More of them do trickle in, and we almost take down the Stalker. Barely do. 1 Stalker left. Uh-oh. 1 Stalker remaining. Soon to be done. Another Stalker comes in. We're barely holding. We get 25 probe kills back at home. We have a handful of workers mining. We have mules. And we're surviving. We hold. Whew. We're barely holding on. Hydra is down to 7 probes, but is on 2 bases. Meanwhile, Thermal is down to 5 SCVs, but has mules. That was a close assault there. Almost did break Hydra, but again, very nice kiting. Was able to keep that 1 Stalker alive. Oh, no, we overextend. But we do overextend, and we might bleed out of Stalker for free. We have to be careful. Calm down. Oh my god, Hydra playing with fire right now. we can't afford to lose our Stalkers. This is all we have. You see Thermal rotating around. Uh-oh. Again, looking at the units tab, that is the only Stalker we do have. Warp gate is done, but we only have 1 gateway. And Thermal does bypass the Stalker. Slipping in behind the army. And Hydra is exposed. We could just go straight for the mineral line and go for the probes. We could just go for the workers. Stalker turning back around. And we're going for it. We do send it right in. We do warp in 1 extra Stalker, so 2 Stalkers. Oh, 13 Marines. 13 Marines left, so stepping forward. 1 Marine goes down. And we're gonna be trapping that Stalker. It's gonna be shut down. Very nice pickup, very nice movement here by Thermal. Down to 1 last Stalker. GG gets called! And Thermal does it once again. Takes down Hydra in a very close game. GG, Thermal continues his reign as still our king of the hill. Oh my god. GG. Crazy, pop, crazy. Oh my god. Just barely. That went down to the wire though. That went down to the wire again. If we had our Stalker in a better position, like the first Stalker got one of the last remaining Stalkers got surrounded. If we were a little bit more conservative with it, if we were further back, if we didn't phase check the tall grass, we would have had more HP. There's just so many like little details that occurred there in that game, and Thermal barely came out on top. GG, well played. You know what we're doing right now? We're just making content for Thermal. I guarantee you, like a good like every single game. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if Thermal makes a video for each one. Like a YouTube video. Like we got like a week's worth of content for Thermal. Aye. Let's go. He's sort of unretired. Oh, he's coming out of retirement. Let's go. GG, well played. Ooh, this is gonna be a spicy one. Okay. The Titans are soon to clash. I'm ready for this. We're heading over to the America server for our next game. It's gonna be another TVT. It's going to be another Terran versus Terran. And this is going to be an interesting one here. We are going to be seeing two kings clash in more ways than one. I mean, we already saw Euthermal bring down Miyamika. True, that did happen. But Euthermal hasn't been the only one winning games today. Euthermal has been on a massive win streak. True, it's been a massive win streak. But before Euthermal, you know, before the rise and reign of Euthermal, there was another king. There was another wearer and holder of this crown. Up next, Euthermal versus Honmono. Let's go. Honmono, the Korean Terran player, he is an animal. He's a beast, especially in this matchup. I'm ready for it. If anyone is going to be stopping Euthermal, if anyone can bring him down, it's going to be Honmono. It's going to... Let's go. It's going to be Uwu Thermal versus Hon Waifu. I'm ready for it. I am ready for it. King of the ocean. We have one. We have one more series after this, I believe. Let me just double check. Double checking here. Okay, we're on our 13th match. We have two more best of ones after this. Oh boy, can Euthermal keep things going a little bit further? 3 more best of ones to go, including this one. Can Euthermal go undefeated in this best of one format? He's so close. He's so close, man. Let's go. Terran's gonna get nerfed because of this series. Hon Monk, yeah, he's a man of many names. Goes by many names. Speaking of here, we go spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our South Korean Terran player, the Yellow Terran, representing Team Hyper 1. Some know him. Well, he's a man of many names. Sometimes he macros, sometimes he monkeys. He apes it up at times. He's an amazing player. It is Honmono. He was our previous King of the Hill. And spawning in the top left-hand corner with, I believe, 8 wins under his belt. Yeah, 8. My god. The current King of the Hill, the Orange Terran player representing Offside Esports. It is Uwu Thermal. Let's go. The Kings will clash. And I'm loving the color scheme. It's going to be an orange Terran against a yellow Terran. Lovely. Thanks, guys. I'm pretty sure this was done on purpose, by the way. I'm shaking my head. God damn it. I'm just setting up, there we go, setting up the color, the names of our players as we are settling in, and Honmono opening up 2 racks. Okay, now I do know that Honmono has been watching. Honmono has been watching the stream, has been lurking in the chat for a lot of these games, has been, of course, enjoying Euthermal, I'm sure. Big fan. And this is going to be an interesting one. So it's going to be 2rax Reaper here from Honmono. Now, 2rax Reaper is designed to hard counter a proxy 2rax. We can see, and I mentioned before, that Euthermal isn't as cheesy in the mirror matchup. We saw it against Cuckoo, right? Where Euthermal had a more back and forth, a more straight up game versus Cuckoo. Things very quickly escalated out of control, but it's not like Euthermal was playing all in. Remember, Euthermal was expanding and taking a third. Didn't get his third base up and running, but he was working on a longer game against Cuckoo. So Honmono playing things out very safely here, opening up 2rax. And the pressure, the onus is going to be on Honmono to make these Reapers worth his while. We'll see if he's able to get some damage done. Reapers are moving out. Back at home, Euthermal opening up double gas, going for the factory. So Reaper into Hellion. Very safe opener from Euthermal. Safe and a little bit more tech heavy. Reaper does go off the ramp. Euthermal shoots first, and the Reaper has to back off. Honmono pulling back, backing up his Reapers. Behind this, going for the factory. And Euthermal is expanding. The CC is on the high ground, so a bit of a safer location for that expansion. Honmono yet to throw down his own CC, but is building up for it. Is banking up for that command center. SCV is in position to scout. There we go, workers on the way. CC will be thrown down, and Euthermal with this SCV scout will be able to confirm that it is not a one base all in. Or confirm that we're expanding. So we'll eventually get that confirmation as we're building up. Again, Reaper Hellion. Honmono is up to 4 Reapers, but the Hellions do add quite a bit of utility here to Euthermal's army, so Honmono has to respect it, he has to back off. Does race back home. Looks like we had the SCV scout dipping in, it's shut down by the Cyclone. And we're settling into our 2-1-1. Ooh, fast stim, that is an interesting variation here, okay. Very fast stim here from Honmono, is going to be hitting a bio timing with this 2-1-1 setup. Building up a bio-based army, working towards medevacs. Meanwhile, we do see Euthermal going for a more traditional opener here, going and settling into a Cyclone drop. Working towards the second Cyclone, into the medevac, into the drop play. Okay. So this is going to be exciting from Honmono. These 2-on-1s are very uncommon in this matchup, just because this delays tank production. Because we use the factory for the reactor, for the add-on swap, the tech lab is delayed because of the fast stim. Like, tanks are quite heavily delayed here. We have a lot of Marines, and this initial drop needs to get some value. Meanwhile, Euthermal moving out with his own force. There's Reaper Hellion with their Cyclones. Honmono is set up back at home, but again, he's going to be moving out with the arrival of those medevacs. Meanwhile, Euthermal opening up and going into Banshees. Okay. Do dive in. Zoning away the army, going for the mineral line. Again, stim is still not done for Honmono. Seconds away from finishing. The Euthermal is going to be forced back. We don't quite catch a Cyclone. Oh, forcing the pickup. We'll get away. Nice juggling from Euthermal. Does get away with those Cyclones. Honmono is going to be pushing out across the map. Stim is now done. And what do we have at home to defend? We have Vanilla Marines. Uh-oh. We do see the army racing back home. Hellions and Reapers have arrived. Honmono, I don't believe he can break through this. Don't think he can break through the army, but he's going for the drop into the main. Banshee making its way across the map. Drop comes in. We do catch a couple of SCVs, but yeah, we're going to be forced out. We do go for the stim, but yeah, there's just too much here. Honmono does have to retreat. At the same time, here comes that Banshee, and we have not scouted the tech. We have not scouted the production. Honmono doesn't know. Thankfully, does have energy for scans. You have to scan energy. Banshee comes in. SCV is going to be going down. And Marines will force this back. Very nice kiting from Euthermal. Even despite the scan, we get away. She does get away. Working towards our third CC. Drop attempting to go back in. We're in position. We have Cyclones. The lock-on! Oh, the lock-on is brutal, and the medevac goes down. Yeah, we clean up the drop play. This sim timing was not worth it for Honmono, as both medevacs go down. Across the map, we shut down the Banshees. They got a couple of workers, but nothing too major. The Banshees haven't gotten too much done, but what's scary is that the drop of Honmono didn't get anything done across the map. That was a big commitment. Behind this, working towards our own third CC, bio tank. Working towards our tank production. Likewise, because of this kind of build of choice here from Honmono, there are no Ravens. It's a big advantage here for Euthermal. We have Raven production, we have Interference Matrix. In a head-on fight, I want to favor what Euthermal has. I want to favor Euthermal here with this tank Raven. But we'll see as Honmono continues with his drop play. Moving out with a double drop. Viking in position. Turret getting ready as well. Looks like Euthermal has recognized that Honmono is playing very drop heavy. Is getting ready for that. And Medevacs to force back. We bait in the Viking. Oh, Viking goes down. Good pick off there from Homono. Reaper Hellion moving out. I mean, these units have been outscaled. We're just going to try to get whatever we can with them. So we are settling into our 3-base setup. Despite Geothermal getting a faster third, we have yet to land on location. Homono does have the slightly more efficient economy here. With that third. Banshee coming in. We go for the scan, but the Banshee will escape. Oh, just barely. Does get away. Homono still sharking around. Being active with his bio army, confirming that there is still no third. Finally, it's going to be landed. He is moving over. Marine is caught. Army is spotted. Homono, he respects it. He backs off. Does back off for now. Whew. And we're going to be calming down, settling into our 3-base setup for both players. Calming things down, looking at the unit tab here, we do have a slight tank lead for Thermal. Does have the Ravens, of course, which gives him a little bit more utility as well with his army. Homono instead going pure Biotank. Pure Marines and tanks here. Moving out with his army. Behind this, we also have a slight upgrade advantage for Homono working on 2-2. But 1-1 is about to finish, and I'm sure 2-2 on the horizon for Thermal. So not too far behind. Another slight advantage here is +1 vehicle weapons for Homono. That will help out with his tanks. But I don't know how much that's really going to help out, especially with when the Ravens come into play. Still going to be very positional based. So we catch some of the Hellions. Hellions going down, catching a Cyclone as well. Some rough pathing there for Thermal. Let's pull back. 2-2 on the way for both players. Homono is still sharking around with his bio army, building up his tanks back at home. Getting ready for his eventual move out. As we are so quick to start up +2 vehicle weapons as well. Okay. Being very attentive to those upgrades. As we can see Homono trying to catch out the bio army, but doesn't quite find it. Oh! And cheeky moves there by Thermal. To shave off some Marines. Of course, back around. Again, both armies kind of dancing around each other. By committing 4th base now on the way, and Thermal is going to be moving out. But he has to be careful. As he moves out, we can move in. With this bio army, we have the scan. Thermal does get eyes on this. He's going to try and chase it down. Likewise, Homono also scans, confirms the army. Getting ready for a drop. Getting ready for a backstab. Is spotted by the Marine. You get a very nice vision by Thermal. He pulls back. Again, it's all about positioning. We don't want to get caught out. Don't want to get caught out of position. And now it's time for Homono to move out across the map as well. Thermal still up on tanks. Homono up on Marines. God, that's a lot of Marines. Jesus. That's 100 Marines, Papi. And here we go. The tanks are looking a bit exposed. Mono does spot the army, rotating around. Mono backing off. Bearing in mind as well that Homono has avoided any kind of Viking production. Just pure Marine tank. And we're committing! Yeah, massive sable on Homono. Marines are pushing forward, but the tanks, they lay siege upon Homono's army. Massive tank shots going up. Homono barely does not break through. Has to pull back. That was 100 Marines for Homono. Trying to brute force their way through. Didn't get on top of the tanks, but here comes the drop. Oh! Now we on siege in time. The Thermal does hold. Whew. Now tanks are the tank armies still there for both players. Homono down to 4. Down on bases, taking his own fourth, rotating around. Jesus. Now, Homeowner did actually catch the Ravens. Managed to catch the Ravens and the Vikings. Rotating towards the fourth base. Thermal able to keep up. 3-3 on the way. Thermal getting back into Ravens. Committing into that Raven production. Homeowner making his way towards that planetary. Thermal's the first to siege. Tank shots going up. The Marines dive in, but the planetary even adding some support. And Thermal does hold. Refusing to be broken. Both players taking the fifth. Expanding. 3-3-3 on the way. +3 vehicle weapons here for Honmono. The quality of this army is going to be insane, but the downside here is that, again, Homeowner, he's just giving up on air control. It's very Beyond-esque. As we catch some medevacs, not bad. Homeowner working with a bit of a more maneuverable army here, as he's more bio-heavy. Oh! Catching a medevac. Meanwhile, Thermal just doubling down on tank production, on Ravens. Has Marines to support, but it's not his core unit. As we do our position, Thermal, we're within range of the planetary. Planetary is going to be going down. There's no saving it. Nice catch from Honmono. Gets a base and the SCVs. 15 workers go down. And we back off. From here, we just unsiege, back off, rotate around, and head towards at these southern bases. Now the planetary is up and running. We'll see if Homeowner can make his way there. Thermal, he's got 16. He's got double the tank count. It's basically mech at this point. So yeah, we do boost away. And mainly tank Viking Raven for Thermal. Honmono does beat him here to the ramp. Thermal sieging up. Honmono being careful. Pulls back. The drop does slip by. And again, Honmono ideally does want to get to this planetary. Doesn't quite get there. Instead, it's going to be Thermal beating him to the base of Honmono. Marines dive in. This CC, it's under fire. We're not going to be able to save it. Yeah, Honmono rotating towards the right-hand side, but there's nothing to kill. There's nothing here. Yeah, there is no CC. We have left tanks back at home to defend. Honmono diving in, confirms that there is no base. Ooh, takes some big tank shots to the face. But he goes for the dive. Stims on forward, catches the tanks. Breaking through into the third base, and so many tanks going to be going down. And it has Honmono broken through. Liberator's going to be folding as well. Yeah, Thermal completely out of position when going for the CC. Yeah, massive move here from Honmono. Thermal trying to race back home. The army is overstimmed. No medevacs. No support. We don't need medevacs. It's fine. Just pure tank marine. Brute forcing our way through. We have the high ground as well. There's no pushing up this ramp. Not anymore. We're going for the kill. We're going for the main. The main base is under fire. Natural has gone down. And again, who was the one to bring down Thermal to stop his reign of terror, Bobby? Not a Zerg, not a Protoss, but another Terran. Again, it was an impressive run here by Thermal. Very impressive. To bring down so many Protoss players, a handful of Zerg and a handful of Terran. Well, just like Cuckoo and Miyamaika, but mainly Protoss. Still going to be harassing across the map. Tank volley still going off in the main. Hitting the production. Thermal still has an economy. Oh. And a solid tank line here. We're going for the drop. No! Dropping on top of the tanks, forcing some friendly fire. Well, not too much, though. On siege in time. And Homeowner has yet to break the main. He's close. Oh, so close. We're bleeding out units. Marines are going down. Tanks as well. Thermal is barely holding on. Did cost us 40 SCVs though. Another base goes down. And can Thermal bounce back from this? Again, economically, Homeowner is going to be able to outscale Thermal, but we still have a comparable army. Thermal, if we're able to move out, if we're able to deny some of these bases. Speaking of, we deny top right. Couple OSCs going down, going for the orbital. And we will barely get the orbital as well. Not a bad pickoff. It's going to cost us the drop, but that was worth it. That was worth it for Thermal. Another CC here on the right-hand side. Homeowner threatening that southern base. Planetary's on the way. Let's go. There has to be very careful with his forces here. Again, he's got a lot of tanks and Vikings, but not a lot of Marines, and he's vulnerable to a dive. Speaking of, we dive in. Tanks are going down. Expensive losses here for Thermal. As we catch 2 tanks. Did I say 2, 3, and now 4 tanks go down. Homeowner now getting into Viking production. Again, working towards that planetary. Thermal stimming in. Oh, he's going to bleed out those Liberators and the Vikings. Marines will be cleaned up, though. Not a bad fight here for Thermal. Cleans up the Marines, gets the tanks. Vikings will not escape. 3 of them trying to get the hell out of here. But we'll get caught out. We'll get surrounded. And we save the base. We save the planetary. That's what's important. Thermal still in a 2-base setup. Homeowner still with a comparable army. With those better upgrades. Remember, Homeowner, he's got +3 vehicle weapons, +1 vehicle plating. Thermal's on 1-0. Another tank, no! Another tank goes down, and now we can go for the kill. Now we can go for the planetary. Thermal, nowhere near. Not in position. Won't be able to save it. He is racing over. Boys are being pulled, but there's only so much he can do for this base. Planetary goes down. And Thermal is just sending it right down mid. Going for a Hail Mary play. Stimming across the map. 2 tanks siege up. And Homeowner setting up a surround even. Oh, tank shots. Not bad. Soul volley goes off, but we have so many Marines. We just overwhelm Thermal. The tanks go down. And Homeowner looking to clean up this army. Again, he is the one to stop Thermal. Thermal down to half a mining base. Barely expanding, lifting up his main. Taking it as a 3rd. And we still have a line of tanks, true. We still have a decent line of tanks, actually. If Homeowner overextends, we could maybe take a fight. Thermal could maybe take a fight here. Big volleys going off for the Marines. Catching the tanks. Not bad. Planetary goes down. Thermal just squeezing so much value here out of what little he has left. 3 SCV kills. Oh my god. We have a lot of Vikings. The Vikings that we have. 11. I guess the Liberators did cause a bit of a Viking transition. Isn't going to add too much here, but yeah, we have them at least. Thermal getting ready for the push. For the assault. Which means we could actually go for this planetary. It's that much more exposed. Thermal rotating around. Confirms that there is no CC. Ooh. Tank volleys going off. Thermal, he wants to go for it. Stims in. A bold move, stimming into this line of tanks, and he barely breaks through. Yeah, we're down to 4 tanks left. We can even land the Vikings at this point. going for the marine drop. Dragging the marines into the tanks. GG gets called. The writing is on the wall. There's just nothing else left here, and Mono will dethrone and bring Euthermal down after an insane win streak. And all hail the new king, Mono. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Mono, as the king is dead. Finally, someone is able to bring Euthermal down, but it was an impressive run nonetheless. It was 8 wins in a row, bringing down so many Protoss players and even a couple of Zergs and Terrans as well in Miomaika and Cuckoo. It was a very impressive run, and I'm sure Euthermal is not disappointed with his performance here tonight, as he was able to have an insane win streak, but nothing lasts forever. And Mono was revived. He rose from his ashes. He heard about this other Terran king that was just wreaking havoc in OSC King of the Hill. And he's like, no, I'm not going to get outdone. Mono comes out, flexes his Hon macro, looking a little hung Mono as well, and does bring Euthermal down. GG. GG, well played. We have our new King of the Hill, and the show will go on because we still have 2 matches left. We still have 2 best of 1s remaining here. 2 challengers left to try to bring down Mono. Let's go. Catching up. Oh, the goat! Oh, it's okay. It's okay. He had a good performance. He had a very good. Oh, let's go! He's back. He is back. Okay, so first things first, a massive shout out to Sunny C Stream in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much, Pappy. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy your emotes and your replay packs. As we're getting ready for our next series, we got a raid earlier. If you remember, like at the start of the broadcast, Fort Jumi gave us a raid, and now Fort Jumi is coming out next as our next challenger. It's going to be Mono versus Fort Jumi. Let's go. The teams are going to be a little bit messed up. I'm trying to quickly set things up. Fort Jumi's on Platinum Heroes now, I think? Question mark? Let's double check. Yeah. It's now on the Platinum Heroes. Un momento. Alright, let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkion, we have our German Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing his new team, the Platinum Heroes. It is Fort Jumi. Get a big shout out for Jumi. He was streaming earlier, did give us a lovely raid, and spawning in the top right hand corner we have the current King of the Hill, the pink Terran player, the South Korean Terran living in the land of Japan, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Mono. Here we go. Catching up. The invincible became the vanquished. Ah. Just noticed Crank Duckling has a Patreon. I signed up for it. I'd hate to lose content this good. Oh, thank you, Sunny C Stream. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we do have a Patreon. We do. I don't advertise it as much as I should, but yes, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat if you're interested in supporting us. The Patreon is specifically set up to help fund our tournaments. We do host events on a weekly and monthly basis. So thank you, do appreciate it. For now though, we're settling into our next series here, and now we can talk about Mono again. Again, you know, shout out to you, Thermal, for having an insane win streak and insane performance in this tournament. Oh, but now we have a new king. You know, out with the old, in with the new. We have a new reigning king here, and Mono is an animal. He's an animal specifically in the TVP matchup. Now, you saw the best of him. You saw him in a TBT against other Terran players. Mono, I mean, I guess he's like you, Thermal. Wait, I just realized. Euthermal's like the European Honmono, and I guess Honmono is like the Korean Euthermal. Where against Protoss players, a lot of cheese and a lot of all-ins. So, yeah, Honmono and Euthermal, they could even be the same person. I don't know. I'm just very similarly, they cheese the hell out of Protoss. We see a lot of 1-base and a lot of 2-base all-ins from Honmono. He is the most aggressive Terran player in South Korea. He does hold that mantle and is going for a proxy factory. But we see a lot of all-ins from his side, especially against Protoss players. He macros against Terran, so does Euthermal. And Honmono also macros against Zerg players. And Euthermal, I think he does that as well. But behind this, we do see Forjumi entering into his own opener. It's going to be a Gate Cyber expand into a Twilight Council. Factory is proxied, and do we go for the proxy starport? Wait, Cyclones? Wait, what? I assumed that this was going to be proxy Hellions for a Hellion drop, but no, we are proxying Cyclones instead. Okay, Honmono. He's cooking. What do we have? Meanwhile, Forjumi going proxy DTs. Let's go. A proxy Dark Shrine. I assumed it was going to be Blink with that Twilight Council, but no, we have a proxy pylon for the DTs for the Dark Shrine. The starport is indeed proxied, and this could be for Liberators. This could be just proxy Cyclone with proxy Liberator going for the all-in. Moving out across the map, boys are being pulled. A handful of them. But will we have detection? Will we have any way to deal with the eventual Invisible Man? Will it matter? Because we're already here. Shield batteries are on the way. You're going for that shield battery. Adept focusing down the Cyclone. Cyclone take a little hits. We have the repair. We do top up that Cyclone. Shield battery goes down, but we're bleeding out some Marines. We do bleed them out. Backup shield battery almost done. We're going to have that overcharge. Yeah, that backup shield battery is so huge. So clutch for Jumi. But a second Cyclone has arrived. Proxy Medivacs, not Liberators. Okay, interesting. Medivacs on the way. Another shield battery thrown down. And we do force that overcharge. With the overcharge, we should be able to hold on. Yeah, we force back the Terran army. Forjumi holds. He is holding for the time being. Gateway is under fire. Again, we only have one more gateway in the main base, so this is actually impactful. DTs are warping in. DTs, they warp in across the map. The Invisible Man has arrived. Do we have, even with the skid, we have no army. We have nothing back at home. Trying to force the issue. Boys are being pulled. Down to 3 Cyclones. Down to 2. 2 Cyclones left. DTs are going ham. SCVs are going down. And Forjumi, has he done it? Has he held it? Has he attacked? Honmono, he was our king, but merely for a game here because Forjumi, he's pulling this off. He's doing it. Again, the Invisible Man has arrived. And there's just no answer. Oh, we have a skin. Oh, can we bring it down? Barely we do, but at the cost of a Cyclone. It's just becoming too much. Liberator has arrived. SCV still going down. The DTs are still wreaking havoc across the map. Ay, ay, ay. Honmono down to 20 workers. We actually right-click on the base. There we go. We did click on the base by accident, but now we're going for the SCVs. And Honmono is throwing back around, but there's nothing back at home to save. There's just nothing here. 0 economy, 0 mining. Honmono making his final stand here at the center of the map. The Liberator goes down. Not like this. The Liberator does fall. Marine as well. And the Cyclone. We're down to only SCVs. That's all we have left. And we still have DTs in the main. We're making Reapers. We're making Reapers. That's all we can make. Raven from behind with the auto turret. Catches out a Stalker. Both, oh my god, catching both Stalkers actually. Honmono, calm down. But this is all we have left here. Just a handful of units. Forjumi has an economy. Forjumi getting a third base. Forjumi killing the main as we don't lift the CC. And Honmono, he's Hon coping. Honmono, he wants to kill the Stalker. He wants it. Give him this, it's all he wants. Oh, he gets it. The surround gets the Stalker. We did it. GG. GG, well played. For Jimmy does survive the aggression, survive the all-in, and will be our new king of the hill. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations. Again, it was a brief reign for Honmono. He was able to be the one to bring down Euthermal, but again, did only last a game here as Forjumi comes out of left field with the Invisible Man, able to survive the all-in, able to counterattack as well, cripple the economy, cripple Honmono. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, one game left. One game remaining. As it's been a fun tournament. It's been a wild ride so far. So many highs and lows. I mean, very intense games here. 15 best of ones. 14 are now done. We have one left. One best of one remaining here. Will Forjumi be our final king of the hill? Or will we have another contender bring him down and claim that throne for themselves? Who's it going to be? Who is our final player? Oh, the Euthermal the Euthermal revive? Not quite, not quite. Unfortunately, no revive for Euthermal. I mean, hey, again, I'm sure he's not upset with his performance here. He did walk away with a lot of money. We have our next challenger. It is gonna, no surprise, it's going to be another Protoss player, another European Protoss. And can anyone guess who it's going to be? Okay, it is a Polish Protoss player. Polish Protoss, and it is not a revive, which means it is not Jomek, it is not Geralt. Who is it? Oh, who do we have? Eva. not quite Eva. Close, close. Close with the Eva. Christiana, yeah, there you go, papi. It is going to be Christiana as our next opponent. It's going to be a PvP, to end the night. Hold on, just need a moment to set things up. Whew, just in time, okay. And I'll be honest, I'm a little bit surprised. This is the first PvP of the tournament. We had a lot of Protoss players, but because our king was Euthermal, it was just a lot of TVPs instead. A lot of Terran versus Protoss instead of our usual PvPs. But we could only... Oh, man. As, Forjumi accidentally picked Terran. We could only deny the inevitable for so long, but here it is. The PvPs are upon us. Forjumi just making sure he picks Protoss. He needs a moment. He needs a moment. Oh, never mind! Let's go! No shot! Bappy! Let's go! It was not a mistake! Forjumi is playing Terran. He knows how to beat Protoss, Bappy. He knows. He's switching to Terran against Cristiano. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. TVP final, TVP. Forjumi is playing Terran. Not the first time we've seen Forjumi play Terran, but this is a bit of a rise in popularity in the sense that more and more players are now off racing, more and more players are now avoiding the mirror matchup as often as they can. And here we go. Wait, what? Wait, he's not Terran. Wait, wait, what just happened? Never mind. He was Terran last game, but here we go. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have our... What is happening? We have our red Protoss, the Polish Protoss player representing Starlight Twinkle. Our new contender, can he claim the throne for himself? It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, he was going to play Terran, but at the last second, he switched. He switched in the lobby from Terran to Zerg. The blue Zerg player, usually Protoss, going for a pool first. It is Forjumi. Let's go. I believe that was a 12 pool as well, I believe. Oh my god. Okay. So Cristiano, hopefully he was paying attention. Hopefully he was paying attention to the loading screen. Hopefully he knows it. Now he confirms the Overlord. He's aware of the Zerg race that is upon him. And here we go. Lings are on the way. So 12 full. We have 6 Lings in production. Do we go for the all-in variation? Now, 12 full doesn't have to be all-in. It could be a 12 full drone pool, or it could be a 12 full macro game, and we could expand. The drone is sent out. That could be for sure. Yeah, proxy hatch across the map. Okay, let's go. We have the proxy hatch across the map. We go for the fake expansion here initially. Hatchery has been thrown down. We force a big reaction out of Cristiano. He's fully walling off. We have the Forge response as well. A very strong response here. Now, with this Forge, we can throw down cannons. The boys have been pulled one way or another. The game will end. Either Forjumi kills Cristiano or he dies trying. Again, Forge soon about to finish. We need to finish up that wall. The boys soon to arrive. Lings are on the way. Zealot has made it out in time. Forge is done. Show us the cannons. There it is. Cannons are on the way. The probe locked outside, stuck on the wrong side of the wall, is going to go down. Hatchery is cancelled. Drones are drilling in, but we do wall off. We get the full wall off. The Zealot is going to go down. The cannon is getting surrounded. We need more cannons. Yeah, we force a cancel. Cristiano, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. The gateways are exposed. We only have the one Zealot. No Cybercore either. Have we done it? I mean, the cannon is about to finish. No, that's a pylon. Here we go. Cannon in the back line is halfway done. We're going to knock down the gateway. The gateways are falling. Cristiano. Not like, is this how we win it all, Papi? Is this how we do it? One gateway falls. Pylon gets knocked down. We're going for the Zealot. Cannon does finish, but we're going for the surround. It's only one cannon. It's only one Zealot. And I think we've done it. For Jimmy, he has done it. We were deprived. We were stripped away from the TVP. We were hoping for the Terran. Instead, we got the Zerg. And these things are getting out of control. Oh, the spray! We throw down the balloon. And there's just nothing here. There's nothing left. There's a handful of workers left in the main base. Cristiano just taking in the loss here. We're going for the pylons. Back at home, no mining actually whatsoever. What you see is what you get. GG gets called, and Forjumi does it. Forjumi takes down Cristiano, and he will be our King of the Hill. GG. Let's go. GG, well played. We almost got the Terran Forjumi, but we got the Zerg one instead. Regardless, I'm sure he had an all-in planned, regardless of which matchup it was going to be. GG, well played. And Forjumi takes it in the end. That'll be the end of our tournament. Our final King of the Hill is Forjumi. And what does that mean? Well, for those who are curious, OSC King of the Hill is a weekly tournament, and every week, whenever we start the tournament, we reach out to the reigning King of the Hill, in this case Forjumi, and Forjumi has the option, he has the opportunity to be the starting player. Next week, he can be our starting player to continue his reign and to continue his run. So he will have that opportunity. And again, congratulations to Forjumi for being the last one standing. It was a wild event. We had some ups, we had some downs. Let's quickly head on over and have a look at our tournament. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Bam! Here we go. Okay, from the beginning, we had a wild ride. We had Eba versus Nickrat in a ZVT. Again, Eba has been playing a lot of Protoss, but he did decide to play Zerg tonight. He was feeling a little bit more Zerg heavy. If you remember, I asked Eba, I was like, "You're playing Zerg?" And he's like, "See, papi, I want to feel pain." And I was like, I understand. So Eba did decide to play Zerg for the first time in a long time. Did take down Nickrat. That is when Honmono stepped in, and if you remember, Honmono, I did intro him as a reigning King of the Hill as well this week, as he did claim his first win against Eba, took a win against Hydra as well, but got knocked down by Night Phoenix. Night Phoenix was the player to bring Honmono to his knees, to knock him down on that game in Oceanborn. And then we had the long reign of Euthermal. the reign of terror came upon us with Ubu Thermal coming in and just slaying Protoss left and right. Night Phoenix, Shameless, Jelmek, Miyamaika, Ashbringer, Geralt, Cuckoo, Hydra. No one could stand in Euthermal's reign, whether it's especially Protoss, but also the Zerg, the Terran, and it was a fellow King of the Hill, Honmono, who was revived, who came back and did stop Euthermal in the end, did bring him down, only briefly, with 4 Jimmy coming in towards the end. With 4 Jimmy at the end, stealing some wins with the Invisible Man and with the 12 pool drone pool. GG, well played. It was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a great tournament. GG, Bobby. GG. Hope you all had a great time. Hope you all did enjoy yourselves. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Again, this event is a weekly tournament. Every single week there is an OSC King of the Hill. That's why weekly is a part of the name. And this event has been running for 172 weeks. It's been a long time. It's been a very, very long time here. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to OSC for hosting this event for as long as they have. OSC King of the Hill, when did it begin? Let me just scroll way up here. It began back in 2019. 2019 was the first OSC King of the Hill, and of course we had many more thereafter, so big shout out to Eddie. We don't cast it every single week, just as a heads up. We cast it every now and then, but typically if Wardy is available, Wardy casts this. Wardy is the usual caster for these OSC events, but if you're in the know, you know that Wardy is traveling. Wardy is busy with DreamHack Dallas, so because Wardy was otherwise busy, we were able to step in his stead and cover OSC this week. So basically, whenever there's something like that going on, whenever maybe sometimes Wardy is hosting his own tournaments, maybe he's busy with ESL, with DreamHack, with something else, we're able to step in and able to host OSC. So that's typically when we do jump in for the OSC casting. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you had a great time here tonight. Again, we do cast on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings. Yesterday, we were one of the streams covering DreamHack Dallas. We were covering the knockout bracket alongside Steadfast. It was the main stream, the B stream, Steadfast, and ourselves. We were covering the knockout bracket. And the day before that, we were casting the open stage. So if you're curious, if you still want some more StarCraft, if you want some VODs, then VODs are available on YouTube, VODs are available on Twitch, a lot of content on our channel if you're interested in some of those DreamHack games. Otherwise, we're going to be back tomorrow. What is tomorrow? ESL Open Cup Asia. ESL Open Cup Asia. So if you want some Korean on Korean action, if you want players like Byun, Dark, Hero, actually, if you want some of the more regular Koreans, then we got you covered with ESL Open Cup Asia. But I just remembered, a lot of these players are traveling. Like Wardy is at DreamHack. A lot of those Korean players are also at DreamHack Dallas. So it's going to be an interesting one tomorrow. Basically, we're going to be featuring the players that didn't travel. If there's any Koreans that you can think of that didn't travel, likewise, any players from Southeast Asia that didn't travel, they're going to be active instead in ESL Asia. We might have a new champion. We might have a new champion instead. You know, we can see players like Honmono. Like Honmono is going to be there, I'm sure. Maybe some of the other players like Stephen Curry, like 3 Point, Coffee, maybe some of the Chinese players. Firefly didn't travel. Actually, Firefly, he could be a contender to win it all, now that I think about it. Rebellion, some of the other more Code A Korean players. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be an interesting one just because all the heavy hitters are not in Korea. So yeah, this week's ESL Open Cups are going to be interesting. They're going to be very, I mean, MaxPax is going to be there for EU and NA because MaxPax doesn't travel. So it's going to be like who can stop MaxPax from winning all these online events. Like usually it's like Clem or Dark or Solar or Byun. Usually it's one of these other big European or Korean names. But because they're all traveling and MaxPax isn't, MaxPax, he can clean house. He can he can steal all the money in the ESL weeklies. So yeah, we'll see. True. Showtime is home. True. Showtime will be there to contend against MaxPax. Who else? Gabe is traveling. Spirit is traveling, Laser's traveling. Like, I'm thinking of all the other Europeans. Like, a lot of them are traveling. So, yeah, it's Max Pax and Showtime. Those are the big ones, right? He's done it before. The problem with Max Pax competing in ESL Korea is that he has to wake up. That's the problem. That's that's the biggest hurdle for Max Pax winning ESL Korea this week is waking up. So we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Catching up. For Jimmy killed Protoss instead of me. Ah. Fuck Protoss. Este for Jimmy. Let the spirit of Thermi guide you. Just catching up. Just catching up. Thank you for the stream. Ah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I found a map of skills with a similar build in Home Story Cup summer. Yes, yes, that is true. That is true. I think that was when did Fiant win the award, right? Like they were hosting awards for like the cheesiest build or something like that. I think Fiant may have won that, maybe. I feel like we need a Euthermal slideshow with sentimental music for his reign. Good times and bad. True, true. But yeah, with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. Again, we're going to be back tomorrow in less than 24 hours with ESL Open Cup Asia. We're going to be back the day after that with ESL Open Cup Americas and plenty of more StarCraft. Like, our schedule is jam-packed full of content. If you are unsatiated, again, you can follow us on YouTube and stuff, or you can actually go over to ESL_SE2. DreamHack Dallas is in an hour and 30 minutes. And an hour and a half is going to be DreamHack Dallas, ESL Masters Spring, and let's quickly have a look here. I won't be co-streaming. Technically I could co-stream the events, but I think I'll just chill. I'll just watch from the sidelines. It's okay. It's okay. We'll just watch from the sidelines. It's gonna be Maru versus Dark and Oliveira versus Cyril. Ooh, okay, some brutal TVZs. We were co-streaming yesterday, and I was really impressed by Oliveira versus Raynor. Like, that was, for me at least, that was the highlight of the entire tournament so far. Like, that was an insane series. Like, if you missed out, I recommend it. Check out Oliveira versus Raynor. That was a wild time. I was in awe with how well Oliveira was playing. Unironically, he was playing like one of the best, if not the best, Terran in the world. It was crazy. It was crazy how he played against Raynor. It was wild. So I look forward to a series against Cyril. I still think that Cyril will most likely win it. I do think that Cyril is still the heavy favorite, but I'm looking forward to Oliveira's match to see how he compares, to see a glimpse of what their practice looks like. Likewise, if anyone were to stop Cyril, I think it's going to be Dark. I mean, everyone knows that Cyril's worst matchup is ZVZ. He's still really good at it, but I feel like the best chance to stop Cyril is most likely ZVZ. So if Dark can make it to the finals, then maybe he can beat Cyril. Outside of that, I feel like he should be feeling pretty confident. I feel like I feel like Cyril, he's looking like a beast. And best of luck to Maru, Dark, and Oliveira. Best of luck to them to see if anyone can bring him down. He looked like Innovation. He looked better than Innovation, mate. It was crazy. It was crazy. I recommend it. Check out the VODs. Check out the VODs. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. Again, exclamation mark socials in the chat. You think Euthermal can stop Cyril? Oh no. Maybe Euthermal could beat Cyril if I don't know. I was trying to come up with somebody to say, no, Bobby, no. Maybe you know what? I think Euthermal, he would just let Cyril win for the narrative. I think the problem is that Euthermal, he could beat Cyril, but he just, you know, we let him win for the people out there to make sure that Zerg doesn't get buffed. Obviously, you know, for the people. Much love to to Mark. But yeah, with that, we're going to be heading off, so thanks for watching. Stick around, we're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who's streaming right now? You know what, if Euthermal was streaming, we could raid him, but who do we have? We have Sort of, who else? Sort of is live. Florencio is live. Mousy is live. We'll find some. We'll find something to raid. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, bye. Ciao. Papi ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.